It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans were back on the practice field yesterday as preparations for the Los Angeles Rams begin for Sunday's home opener at Nissan Stadium. In the first injury report of the week, 4 players for the Titans did not practice. In J.C. Latham, Quandre Diggs, T'Vondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings, 3 players were limited in L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media ahead of practice yesterday, looking ahead to Sunday's matchup against the Rams.
Really good football team. You know, they played really well last year, deep into the playoffs. Good defense, good offense, solid special teams unit. I think the edge players on defense are really, really good players. Those guys have anchored that defense. They play with great effort on defense. Offensively, obviously, I think Matthew Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks in football. They're really good at running the football. They're committed to it. You can tell they're a playoff caliber football team.
In NFL news, San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that quarterback Brock Purdy could miss multiple weeks with shoulder and toe injuries and that he could be a long shot to play this Sunday at New Orleans. Former first-round draft pick in Mack Jones is in line to start if Purdy cannot go. Tonight, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime in Green Bay as the Packers host the Washington Commanders. Both teams are 1-0 to start the season. The Packers are the 3-point favorite tonight. Kickoff is set for 7:15 p.m. Central, and you can also hear Westwood One's coverage right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 7. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Thursday morning on Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Off and running on a Friday junior edition of the program. Got a loaded show coming up for you this morning. As always, we start it quickly in 20 minutes with Thursday 3 picks against the spread, against the totals in the football weekend, which begins tonight. Coach Mack at Titans Radio at 7:20. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith at 8:20. Former Georgia quarterback DJ Shockley joining us at 9:20, previewing Tennessee and Georgia. And you are always a guest as well at 615-737-1045. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. We stream the show live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch on this Thursday. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Solid. Went down there and did 92Q real quick, man. I had to race down here literally so I can be here for my show, man. But I had a good time, man. They were, it's funny doing, they have that Tighten Up segment where we basically do picks. It's basically like a Thursday 3. Also, I went 3-1 last week over there, okay? All right. Yeah, crazy. But with that being said, it was cool talking the back and forth with them and how they view sports versus how we talk about them and stuff like that. They're more entertainment and pop culture over there, so I enjoy it whenever I do that quick segment.
Very
with
nice,
them, man. Yes, absolutely. Real good time, man. Late baseball session last night again
there you
for
go.
the oldest, but hey, didn't have to drive him home. You stayed with a friend this time.
Solid.
17-year-old life is a little bit different, man. 17-year-old life, I bet you say, yes, it is, Ramon.
Bittersweet?
Yes. 100% the bittersweet part of it. I love it, but then you think to yourself, this is a normal occurrence here sooner than later. I used to mess around and say this often. Well, he's got less time in the house than he does in. Now I actually hate saying that because I'm like, God dang.
Fair.
Yeah, he's doing a campus tour this weekend, man. It's
Nice.
Him and the wife are going, and I got to work. But no, do I even call that work on the weekends now?
Calling Tennessee, Georgia? Whew.
I know. This last week was awesome because it was the opener. This one, I'm hoping to feel a buzz.
I hope you enjoyed being able to hear yourself think at Neyland Stadium because you won't be able to this weekend.
No, you will not. We'll see if they get to a point where they do Spooky Rocket Top too. God, I love that. Do you like that though?
Of course.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if like everybody was on board with that because some people like the woo, some don't like the woo. Whenever we do Rocky Top,
I feel like Spooky Rocky Top people that does not divide anyone.
Okay, all right, perfect.
The woo divides people. I don't think that does.
But it happens. Never mind. We go deeper in that sometime in the offseason. It's weird though. It's weird though.
Well, yesterday in the locker room, players, coaches adamant that this Titans team is still locked in. Injury report that we'll get to coming up in just a minute. But Brian Callahan was asked about, is this team different? Is this team still buying in, not letting things get away from them after a defeat? It is very early to be asking questions like this, but I did think that Titans head coach Brian Callahan gave a solid answer yesterday.
Yeah, this team is very different from that. I understand where you're coming from. I know that feeling. But I didn't feel that at all from our football team in that game. I was frustrated at just the things that we could have done to win the game, in a game that I felt like we had a very good chance to win. To not come out of that playing better than we did in all three phases, I think, was what was disappointing. Disappointed in myself, obviously, on top of it. So I love the makeup of our football team. I really do. I think they have the right mentality. They understand that we always are going to have a chance. They play really hard. They play with great effort. Those things are going to help us along the way, and we're going to win more football games. But that feeling that can creep in sometimes, I don't feel it from our guys. I think we've got really good leadership. The leadership has grown quite a bit, I think, in a year's time. And the new faces we've added and the young players and their demeanor and makeup gives me a ton of confidence that that's not something that we have to worry about. And I really do. I mean, I know it's only 1 week and all that, but I really do like the makeup of our football team and where they stand. It's a night and day difference in totality from a year ago.
There you go. Titans head coach Brian Callahan saying things, even though they may have appeared to be similar in week one, to the way this team lost at times last year, are different going into week two.
And you know what? I truly believe that, which is why it wasn't frustrating to talk about Monday and Tuesday about how he was as a coach and why people wanted him fired and stuff like that. I heard even last year that, like, his ability to still be able to reach the team was there. Now, this entire offseason, he built that equity with those guys. Did he not? Like, He made them do stuff that they hadn't done before. He challenged them as players. He challenged them as teammates. He's challenged the team to be able to respond and understand where they are also. So it's fascinating, man, hearing the Fire Callahan conversation, the, hey, he's an incompetent coach, or hey, he's soft, and hey, he's all these negative things, when in reality inside that locker room, you talk to the guys, or when we've had them on the show here, they've expressed, no, Callie gets it. Callie's not a nice guy. Not meaning he's a meanie, but like, he's not a nice guy. He's a pro. He understands how to get the best out of guys and drive them. Now, I know the fan base want to see a difference, want to see that themselves on game days and his decision-making and how he manages certain stuff. But I don't think he's lost a locker room. I was listening to Bully, Amy Wells, and Rhett last night. And Bully made a point, and it's so true, and I think it's hard for people to understand this type of stuff. He was like, Wednesday of the new week, it's reset. He's like, but by Thursday, everybody's got a bounce in their step. Everybody's bouncing. Everybody's bopping. Like, nobody's worried as much about what happened last week. And I think you'll end up seeing that, well, if you go to the locker room today or we hear interviews, like, there's a reset that happens. Sure. And that's why when we were having the conversation, it's of the mindset, like, there is next week. Like, there's that conversation of, like, the adjustment to what happened the previous week, and he gets a new opportunity. The team gets a new opportunity.
Well, there's work to be done.
Yeah.
And really, your job as an NFL football player is practicing. And then you go show what you practiced all week when you play the game. So while fans, I think, stew on things and have time to sit and hear people like us talk about what went wrong and hear national shows talk about what went right and wrong, like, the players have an active process to prepare for the next game, which requires them to no longer focus on what happened. Fans don't have things to fill their time and their NFL part of their brain within that same time span. So it was interesting. Jeffrey Simmons was asked about it. I don't have the audio, but he was asked about it yesterday about, what's the mood like in the locker room? And he looked sideways, and he was like, we're talking about mood in the locker room in week 2?
No.
He's like, the mood's fine. He's like, this team is different, and, like, this team is going to be all right. And he was like, I was frustrated. He admitted, he's like, I can't get penalties like the one I got on Sunday. He's like, even if I'm frustrated by it, I've been in this league long enough. I'm a veteran. I should know better.
Yes.
And there are things we got to get corrected. There's things that Cam got to be corrected. But he said, I told Cam Ward I have his back. Said I told him I'll always have his back. So it's sometimes just that simple, that problems within the quote-unquote locker room that appear to be problems to us are not problems to them internally. And the true test of whether or not this year is different and the vibe and mood and the leadership on this team is different probably pops up closer to November.
Thank you.
When guys are banged up, when guys don't have a hop in their step coming to work as much, when you have more losses, when you have more wins, when you have adversity, when you have new voices that have to step up because young guys are getting bigger roles and older guys are getting more injured. All of those things put together, we're not going to learn if Brian Callahan's right about this team being different from last year's probably for another 2 months.
Perfectly stated.
Yeah.
Perfectly stated.
That's just the point we're at this point. And it's I'm not criticizing any media members for asking it because it sparked this conversation. It sparked a lot of solid conversations for them to say, you know what, this is different. All right, well, y'all are going to have to show us. And that's part of it. You get 17 chances to show what you really are as a locker room and as a football team, what your competitive DNA looks like. And they're going to get the chance for a second time on Sunday against the Los Angeles Rams at home.
Bro, it's so perfect.
Right here on Titans Radio.
I know you won't and can't, I don't know if you can, but give a lot of info on the plane. But most times, even after losses, especially coming from the West Coast, you're going to take off and it's going to be okay, all right, what we doing? As a player, it's what we doing? Next thing you know, players start talking and coaches walk through the aisles and then you hear a couple of laughs and it goes back to normal way quicker. In that culture of a professional team culture, it goes way back to normal quicker than I think the fans know.
It's one of the first things you told me when I got this job.
Can I ask you yes or no answer? Did you experience it?
It didn't feel like the sky was falling, no.
There we go.
Yeah.
We get over. I ain't gonna say we get over because hell is to pay on Monday in the meeting room.
For sure.
Meeting room Monday
over.
is bad.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure Callahan made it feel even worse than they felt too. And the guys understand this too. They're pros. There is a component, man, of this sport to where I know I messed up. But and the coach gonna tell me, then I'm gonna watch it. We gonna rehash it. We gonna work through it, and then we gonna reset. Today is the day where it's going to be oh, yeah, so what we doing today? We going to dinner? It's that type of day today.
You've got to be unemotional about your process in order to make real change. We are emotional as fans. We are emotional sometimes as radio hosts. They can't be.
No.
And that includes in the positive way or the negative way. And I always think of what Nashville SC coach BJ Callahan says about that, of you allow yourself to go one step up or one step down within your process, but overall, it's what makes rivalry games just another week inside a building. It's what makes games that continue or end losing streaks. You got to be unemotional about the process because you only have a certain amount of emotional energy for the entire season. And if you spend all that in September, you're going to be playing your best football in December and January.
That's why I always joke and be man, guys are sickos. Because you deal with all these emotions, and then you got to find balance to be a regular person day to day, too. Or go home and be dad or husband.
Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. The football week begins again tonight. Week 3 in college football, week 2 in the NFL. Our picks against Vegas. The Thursday 3 is next.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet's. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. 615-737-1045, our number. Whole crew here. Live at 104.5 The Zone TV. So we do our Thursday 3 picks a little bit early this morning because we've got DJ Shockley coming up at 9:20 today, which means we are going to offer you opportunities to make U.S. American currency, Ramon, before 7 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yes, it is, man. You at least we can at least put them on the road and start them off. You remember the old toys where you wind them up and send them? That's what we're doing.
I do.
We're winding you up and sending you down the pathway.
Justin Hawkins, 3-0 last week. He is 5-1 after 2 weeks. And Ramon was 1-2 last week. I was 2-1. So we are both 3-3.
Homies.
Solid for the people that we are 4 games over 500 as a group.
Listen,
Justin represents all of that. But still, as
You're
a group.
welcome.
Appreciate you, Hawk.
Good work.
Appreciate you for
I'm here
holding
for the
down
people.
Hawks locks, baby.
All right, so you lead us off again. Let's hear it.
I was going to say Hawk
Pick
got to
number
work
1.
right there.
Any day now.
Hawks locks.
Sorry, there's a call. I need to put him on hold.
Unbelievable. Doing your job, the audacity.
The audacity. Yeah.
Can't do everything. All right. Usually you don't want to start with blood in the water, but I'm going to do it. This weekend the slate of games is really tough to pick. I did a lot of research this weekend, and there's just a lot of games where you've got a lot of high caliber teams playing no caliber teams. You got a lot of there's 3 top 25 matchups this weekend, but I'm going to start with the one in Knoxville.
Oh, bold.
Yes.
The no-caliber Georgia Bulldogs coming to town.
I'm not picking the winner. I'm not picking against the spread. I'm actually going to go with the over.
Oh.
It's 49.5. I like both offenses. I know Georgia kind of struggled last week a little bit against Austin Peay. They only scored 28 points, but there was also a weather delay, so you have to factor in that. The Vols are missing Jamar McCoy. They're missing Ricky Gibson. I think that Georgia could exploit a little bit on the back end for the cornerbacks. But Tennessee's got a very well-balanced offense. You don't know exactly what they are against high-caliber competition. I like what they did against Syracuse. Obviously, they had a school record last week, scoring 72 points. Gunnar Stockton's got a lot to prove. This is going to come down to who has the ball late, and I think that it's going to hit the over of 49.5 points. I think both teams score in the mid to high 20s.
That's actually lower than I thought for this game.
49.5, I would go all over the under, to be honest with you.
All under that?
Tennessee's offense under Josh Heupel just hasn't proven that it can put up major points against Georgia, and I don't trust Gunnar Stockton. So on both sides of that. I don't know. We'll see. Over 49.5 in Tennessee, Georgia. All right.
I like the risk, though.
I struggled, but that's where I went.
All right. Tennessee, Georgia, over 49.5. I'm going to start with tonight's Thursday night football game between the Green Bay Packers and Washington Commanders. I think this game goes under. So I'm going to pick my first total of the season as well. I gave this away yesterday on the show. I've got under 48.5 in Packers Commanders. Both teams were excellent defensively last week. The Commanders gave up 6 points to the lowly Giants. The Green Bay Packers handling a new play caller in the Detroit Lions very easily. I think that both teams will struggle to run it really all that well. I think it's too tough of an environment early for Jaden Daniels. The total has gone under in 4 of Green Bay's last 6 games. And I think Micah Parsons, this is just one of those teams that Micah Parsons just cooks. He is really good against the Washington Commanders. And I know they have Laramie Tunsil now, but I like the under in this one. I think it is I just think it's a low-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
Packers Commanders, under 48.5, my first pick.
There we go. Oh, good one there, man. All right, me. Last week I chose no NFL games. This week I'm choosing one. I'm actually going a little bit against myself almost in a sense, man, because I feel like this is one of the hardest matchups to engage. It's Jags, Bengals.
Okay.
12 o'clock window, early game. I'm taking Jags plus 3.5 because of the offense that they have. And I don't know if Cincinnati has the defense to actually get it done too. They struggled against a good defense last week in the Browns. The Jags don't have a Myles Garrett. But what I do see is this: Joey B in a position to where it's the home opener for them and a place to where he's got to deliver. I like the secondary what the Jags have and their ability to get towards him. I'm actually going Jags plus 3.5 in this game.
Jags plus 3.5 at Bengals. Okay. So Zach Taylor last week with a missed kick from Cleveland became 2-11 in weeks 1 and 2 as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. 2-11. They always start slowly. Do you have any idea why? Is it all the powdered eggs they're having or whatever it is at that facility? Like, what's the deal?
It's some teams, some coaches don't put an emphasis on the start. I will say that I've seen that be the case. Oh, when you got a franchise quarterback, it will really make you relax. It'll just think the players have it. And I'll say this about what I think I know about Zach Taylor. I think he's a little lax in his approach. Some people allow their guys to be guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like sometimes Mike T would be that way with us, Coach Tomlin, that is. Be like, okay, they'll get it done. And sometimes you got to light a fire on the guys like that. And then Cincinnati's always in a position as of late to have a bunch of turnover and newness around them. They have it this year somewhat, other than their mainstays at wide receiver and Joe Burrow. Like, new running back, again, a younger guy. You look at the offensive line and how it shuffles, and defensively, the issues that they have. Cincinnati always have something. You know what I'm saying? That one friend just like, you got another problem? Like, that's them. And I think that oozes into the start of the season until they decide to get serious.
Well, and I think, too, I'm interested to see what Travis Hunter looks like in extended defensive snaps against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
That's true.
According to reports, he is going to get more of a run on defense.
I saw Rex Ryan suggest that. He's like, it's hard finding a good DB. You can always find a wide receiver is what he said. Mm-hmm. Make him a defensive back, and you'll have yourself one of the best players in the entire NFL. It's like he's done with he didn't say he was done with the offensive side of it, but he was like, it's time to make him an all-pro DB.
Interesting. Justin, pick number 2.
Again, another one that was kind of tough to do, but I'm riding the USF train right now. I'm picking that it's 17.5 points again. 2 weeks in a row, USF is the 17.5 point underdog. Last week, of course, they outright beat Florida. Miami is a very good team, both offensively and defensively. Very solid defensive line. Carson Beck has proven that he is, doing well in that offense. But Alex Golesh has proven that he can beat Boise State. He can beat Florida. I think last season they lost 50-15 against Miami. USF did. This season, I think it's a different story. I think they're more resilient. Don't ask me why, but I think that they're just going to cover the 17.5 points. I'm going to cover. I'm going to go with them until that they prove me wrong. I'm fine with them to prove me wrong, but I think USF has the potential to be that group of 5 playoff team this season.
Yeah, I mean, they could even lose this game and still be the G5.
I don't need them to win. Right. I just need them to cover 17.5 points.
I think things are going to correct back for USF.
You think so?
Yeah, I think Miami is so good up front on the line of scrimmage that they can be a bit more vanilla and have more success just in terms of the DNA of who that team is. Plus, you're not surprised at anybody anymore if you're USF.
That's out the window.
Yeah. I think those guys will be ready to play in a way that Florida players weren't. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, Alex Golesh, Byron Brown, that whole team, it's solid. So you may be right, but I'd be on the other side of that one as well.
He is a tough quarterback.
Byron Brown, yeah, he
tough.
He definitely is. I'm going with the bounce back of Alabama. Wisconsin's really bad. Really bad.
I actually was thinking, I have a higher, expectation for them than I think most do.
No, but Ramon, they stink.
Okay.
They are real bad.
Okay.
20.5 for Alabama. Alabama last week just absolutely took they took their anger out on ULM for beating Nick Saban. They took anger out on Florida State on ULM last week. Maybe Louisiana Monroe is just that bad too. But they obliterated the poor Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe over the weekend. Ty Simpson did not throw an incompletion. I think that team has been woken up. We'll see how long it lasts. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's really going to last into SEC play once they start to get punched in the mouth again. How do they respond? Wisconsin is not good enough to punch them in the mouth. Alabama 8-2 against the spread in its last 10 games against an opponent in the Big Ten. Wisconsin does not have the run game to expose Alabama's weakness. Alabama, the profile of team that they struggle with, has a mobile quarterback, is running some sort of option, has dynamic quarterback play, and can run the football against them. Wisconsin is 74th in FBS in running the ball, and they've not played a really tough opponent yet with respect to MTSU, who went up there last weekend. 4.3 yards per carry for Wisconsin. I don't think they have a shot to keep this game close. I think it's Alabama minus 20.5, and that woken up Alabama roster continues to be awake for at least one more week. Now, we'll see when they play Georgia. And they just feel like, to me, the kind of team, Ramon, that when they get punched to the mouth, you've got to really watch how they get up off the bat. Yeah. I just don't think Wisconsin ever really lays a glove on them.
You said that yesterday, too. I want to see the Big Ten be bad, though. I'll say that part of it. It's because they're just loud and just look at our conference. And then you have teams like that that's supposed to be historically good, and here they are trash. So I like that pick for you, Will.
Well, and two, Luke Fickell at Wisconsin, that has been one of the more disappointing coaching jobs relative to expectations in college football.
It's very fickle.
Well done. He was excellent at Cincinnati. He's supposed to be a Big Ten guy who built Cincinnati into a playoff contender perennially. I mean, he had them in the 4-team playoff, not the 12-team playoff. And he's just not been good there. I don't understand. I don't know what the disconnect is between him just building what he did at Cincinnati and just not having success at Wisconsin. Very surprising to me.
Crazy.
Your second pick, Ramon. Oh, you're about to pick Tennessee, aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Doing something I've never done before.
Okay.
Vanderbilt at South Carolina.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's hear it.
I'm taking the Doors plus 4.5.
4.5? That number's that low now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Doors.
It's 4 now, actually, in DraftKings.
4.
Plus 4.
Run it.
All right.
Biggest thing they have going for them is still the element of surprise. I think watching how Virginia Tech played them and how they just breezed past them. They've had, I feel like, one of the stronger tests in what they are as a team and what they did last week, 2 on the road. I thought that crowd was going to consume them at Blacksburg that past weekend, and it did the first half. But I think you are seeing a different phase of what Vanderbilt has learned as a football team and as a culture. South Carolina got some shakiness going on and just in general with what they are. Lenore Sellers hadn't jumped out the way everybody expected him to. And I'll say this, too. As much as I love South Carolina's defense, and I love South Carolina's defense, on TV, it looks like the fastest defense, I feel like, in all of college football. They got some absolute Dylan Stewart. He ain't the only one. They got linebackers. They got safeties. They got everywhere, man. And here's what I'm telling you is this. I feel like that goes against what South Carolina defensively can do to them. I feel like the fact that Dylan Stewart wants to get upfield and Diego Pop is just going to throw a quarterback shovel pass up the middle to the tight end. Eli Stowers been a part of this equation too. They are 69% completion percentage on third down.
And South Carolina's really struggled on third downs on both sides of the ball.
69% completion percentage on third down is insane. Give me the plus 4, Vandy.
Yeah, that game is going to be a season definer maybe for both teams. Because Vandy can put itself in that middle tier of the SEC by going to South Carolina and winning, and South Carolina can drop into that same tier by losing to Vanderbilt at home. Like, Carolina believes it has top-tier SEC potential and playoff expectations. Mm-hmm. You kiss that goodbye if you put up a bad showing on Saturday.
And you know, I gotten off the neck of doggone Shane Beamer. I was on him rough, man. Just like Shane gonna figure it out. Like, I was like, and now here he is proving me right. Like, I should have just stuck to my guns, man.
I think Shane struggles to hire and consistently have a good coaching staff. Like, the amount of uninspired coaching hires that Shane Beamer has made are ultimately going to keep that program from getting where they could go.
Yeah.
And Mike Shula, as offensive coordinator, appears to be the latest in a long line of uninspiring offensive coordinator hires. I mean, Scott Satterfield, they didn't have to fire him. He just up and left for Nebraska. Well, he's since left Nebraska. or Marcus Satterfield. They also have Dowell Loggins, who leaves and just goes to App State. He was fine, but again, like just there's not a lot of new ideas. There's not a lot of risk taken there. He's gone with really safe, kind of boring coordinator hires.
But he's getting the bodies in the building.
Right.
He's captivated the guys to want them to want to come to South Carolina, either by paying for it or doing that thing where he gets them in the room at Mama's living room and he talks them into commit. Like, you can't say South Carolina ain't got the commits. He's got the quality of player.
I mean, Nick Harbor was. I mean, I watched him run track. I called one of his track meets. Like, the guy was wanted by everybody because he's a 235-pound 18-year-old who runs a 200-meter dash.
And then I continually say, like, what is South Carolina, respectfully to the alum that are there? And it's still one of the more toxic places to play at. They have a culture in place, but they can't get the team, like, they can't get the cheese spread to spread all the way out. Like, no, they're almost like chunky peanut butter.
Yeah, Slay makes a good point in the F&M Big Chat. Says, I do too. Says Sellers has to be Superman and then special teams to bail them out. Special teams has been outstanding. Mm-hmm. How sustainable is that? We're about to find out.
We are.
Justin, your third
disciplined
pick.
team. My bad. Against a disciplined Vandy team.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Thank you, Sketch.
I was going to say, thank you, brother.
What you got for us? Who your last pick, man? Because Savage is on your neck right now. Let's go.
Look, we're already choosing violence this morning. It's 6:30 in the morning. What are we doing? These Parsleys and Hawks locks. It's always going to be Mr. Miyagi and Danielson, isn't it? Anyways.
It does.
It is.
We're going to go Oklahoma versus Temple. This one's interesting because it's in Temple.
Yeah. Well, in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Temple's not a city.
Well, you're right. You're correct. Thank you for correcting.
That's that
It's like saying a
university
game
education.
is in Vanderbilt. Like a game is in
I
Nashville.
went there for soccer. Nothing else. So it's a 22.5-point spread. It opened as a 24.5-point spread. So now that it's gone down, I kind of like the 22.5 points. Not just that it's at Temple, that I think it's interesting, but Temple's off to a 2-0 start. Their competition is a little bit inferior, but I just don't understand how Temple's going to slow down John Mateer and this Ben Arbuckle offense that OU has put together. John Mateer leads FBS in total offense with 416 yards per game. Last week against a very solid Michigan team, had 270 yards passing, 74 yards rushing, 3 total touchdowns. I'd like to see a little bit more out of Oklahoma's defense. They only had 1 sack last week, but SEC play starts next week against Auburn. This is a good ramp up. I like that combo, like I just said, of Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer coming from Washington State. So I'd like to see how that's going to pay off, and I think it's going to pay off big. 22.5-point spread. I think that they're going to cover it just fine.
Mm-hmm. All right. 22.5. They got to prove they can do it against an inferior opponent. They look bad against Illinois State week 1.
Oh, crazy.
I think is why that spread is where it is.
Okay.
But understandable.
I think it's a good ramp up.
Okay. Georgia Tech plus 3.5 at home against Clemson. Georgia Tech's going to beat Clemson on Saturday. I feel the same way about this as I did about Virginia Tech Vandy. Some programs are just tougher than others. Yeah. Georgia Tech is tougher than Clemson. Clemson can't run the football. Clemson struggled with Troy. I know who Georgia Tech is. I have no clue who Clemson is, other than a collection of pretty talented guys at one point in high school who have yet to come together and look anywhere close to how good they could be. Yeah. It appears that I was way off on Clemson in the preseason, thinking that they were going to click and it was going to be the Clemson of old again. I've seen nothing to suggest that they're anywhere close to the way Clemson should be. Give me Haynes King. Give me Georgia Tech, who is 8-2-1 against the spread in its last 11 games at home. Mm-hmm. Home dog, Georgia Tech. Atlanta is going to be lit.
Rocking.
Probably with a lot of orange. But Atlanta is going to be lit at 11 a.m. tomorrow. About +3, that line is now. Georgia Tech +3.
I'm in the same boat as you.
I figured you were.
I was. And it's because of Jamal Haynes and Haynes King. Their tit for tat is a rushing goals also.
The Hayneses.
Yeah, the Hayneses. And that is something I feel like LSU was good with them against. I'm not sure if they can get that back. And you got a quarterback that just don't care about life. Haynes King.
That's a good way to put it.
Give me him. Like, he's going to go down as a legend. His jersey's going up. And that stadium is the way I feel about him.
A guy that Tennessee badly wanted to play football for them when Jim Chaney was still the offensive coordinator. That's how long Haynes King's been around. All right, that is the Thursday 3. Your calls at 615-737-1045. NFL headlines. A QB going to be out for this weekend's Week 2 slate. We'll talk about it next. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And we just gave you our picks for the weekend that you can take. And lines and odds are subject to change, but you got to do that on DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers, this one is for you. Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEZONE. That's code THEZONE, THEZONE, to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. 21 plus, Tennessee only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto-renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee as we continue through hour one. Death, taxes, and players on the San Francisco 49ers being hurt.
Bro.
Why is this such a thing for Kyle Shanahan teams, Ramon?
They do play a physical style of ball. I also think it's some of the players that he's gotten, too. Ayuk is a smaller type guy. You look at Christian McCaffrey, history's there. You look at George Kittle, history's there. I'm not sure about anybody else with Trent. I mean, he's a physical player.
Trent Williams, a left
Trent
tackle.
Williams, he's a Brock Purdy. The physical is the only thing I can think of. Drake Greenlaw.
He's in Denver now.
I know, but before then,
right. And he's hurt for Denver. He didn't play against the Titans.
He got to adjust, which is weird because I know the San Francisco's 49 are spearheading health technology out there. I mean, they're in that area where that's one of the mainstays of the region, like health and well-being and the technology of those types of things. I would guarantee they have GPS tracking. I would guarantee they have wellness coaches, massages, etc., cryotherapy. I just think he prefers a physical style of ball. And it bites him in the butt, man. He needs to make an adjustment. This is the only thing I can think of, and that's on the outside looking in.
Sure. Well, this time it's Brock Purdy, who is going to be out for week 2, according to Kyle Shanahan, who says that Purdy is a long shot. Says they will likely go with Mack Jones.
Love that.
Against the New Orleans Saints.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. Let that man
the beauty of it is that they still
will
have the better quarterback in the game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Compared to Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck, one of whom is a backup quarterback, the other of whom is never started a game in the NFL.
Imagine buying a ticket to that slate, though. That is by far.
It's one to take the kids to.
It really is. Want some cotton candy?
49ers and Saints.
Want some cotton candies? Mac Jones wanted to be up there. I think, wasn't he an early signing of theirs, too, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
A little bit before the Titans signed Brandon Allen because Mac Jones was reportedly in the mix to come here to be QB2 of the Tennessee Titans.
With his athleticism, I do want to see what that offense looks like with him. I wonder, will he have him rolling out? Will it be quick? I feel like Mac Jones should be quick enough to handle that offense, but I do want to see how he moves in that offense. And also how he throws. That was one of the biggest things I felt like was a detriment to him previously is his ability to throw and be accurate and be on time. That offense, I feel like, sets you up for those things, which is why a lot of people side-eye Brock Purdy's success. So it's it's just the offense. Well, I want to see if he can make him, Mac Jones, look that good behind that offense.
20 years ago, Aaron Rodgers drafted to be Brett Favre's heir. Pro Football Talk and Michael David Smith writing this, saying on Sunday, Aaron Rodgers could surpass Brett Favre on the NFL's all-time list of touchdown passers. After having 4 last week at his Steelers debut, Aaron now has 507 career regular season touchdown passes. Brett Favre retired with 508. Be careful, Aaron. He'll sue you if you pass it. And please don't sue me if you're out there listening.
I say you, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Do you know this, too? You know Aaron Rodgers is going for that one on the first drive.
What's the vibe like in Pittsburgh this week? Because it feels like you guys, and I do mean you guys, Pittsburgh had a fun offense.
Yeah, 30 points.
You guys are used to winning in week 1 or used to winning games, but winning games at 30 points is a little bit different for Mike Tomlin.
We're used to 18-20 or 20-18. Yeah. The vibes are high. There was a lot of questions about Aaron Rodgers, his commitment to the game.
And rightfully so.
What kind of teammate was he going to be?
Didn't play in preseason.
Did not. And he moved like old Aaron Rodgers. It's high, and it's scary high. And even your alum, Jalen Ramsey.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
I told you, man.
You did. You said it.
We talk about how Cam Ward's wired a little bit differently, and we mean that as a compliment. Jalen Ramsey's wired a little bit differently.
No, that man wires across.
He's a dog.
I don't think they've seen a player like him, that outward, who, I'll be honest with you, just don't care about fine.
Since Ryan Clark?
Ryan wasn't even close to this.
Really?
No. Joey Porter. And I didn't play with Joey.
Sure.
Listen, you were right when you said what you said.
He fits Steelers DNA in an old school way.
And he bragging about playing all 5 positions in secondary. Well, every position in secondary. Safety, corner,
he's
nickel.
A dang good football player.
He played free and strong safety. That dude is a menace. I don't know if I like it or love it. I mean, I don't know if I like it or hate it. I'm completely honest with you. Just as a teammate, I'd be like, bro, you got to bring it back. But then as the other part of me is like, more. Like,
I've told the story before. My favorite Jalen Ramsey story from high school was when he was a senior and I was a sophomore. And at the region track meet, and again, for people unfamiliar, he has the state record still in the long jump. He is as athletic as any human being I have ever been within arm's reach of. We were sitting there, and at the region track meet, I was still JV at that point because we had a really good team, and only 3 guys can run in the varsity race of the region track meet. So I was in the developmental mile, what they call it. Yeah. So where I was running the JV non-scoring mile, which happens when all the field events happen at the region meet. So I'm sitting there under our tent. Because in track, everyone travels with your tent and everything. You lower it down. Everybody's got to sit in the shade, and it's kind of what you do. And I'm sitting there, me and my buddy Brandon, who's running with me that day. So we're sitting there, and Brandon's going to warm up. He's running a different race. I'm sitting there. I'm about to run something else. And again, all JV stuff. And Jalen looks at me. We're both sitting there. He looks at me. He looks at Brandon's bag, goes, can I get one of them pretzels? Peanut butter pretzels? He's got these little peanut butter pretzels. Our coach was big on like pre-race snacks. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because he had told me like, oh, if you want a couple of these, like go for it. Handed them to him. Jalen eats the whole bag. Brandon gets back. He's been warming up, getting ready. He looks at the bag. He's like, where are my pretzels? And I was like, hey, man, when Jalen Ramsey asks for your pretzels, he's going to take your pretzels. And Jalen scored 50 points at the state track meet that season. I think it was 50. He's either 48 or 50. Yeah. And won 4 state championships. I think he may have won 5 because he was doing the decathlon, which, again, happens like over a 2-day event. And, yeah, he did the decathlon. He was that year in the decathlon, 200, 400, long jump, and high jump, I think were his 5. I think those were his 5. But you can do 4 events, and then you can do 5 if the 5th one is the decathlon. And he was good at all of them. He even learned how to pole vault so he could be good at the decathlon.
He did?
And he won it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Incredible. Never seen anything like it.
Y'all want to know how to be good? Genetics. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, built different.
And he worked hard, too, is what you're saying. Yeah.
50 points wins a lot of didivisions, by the way, as a team in the state track.
He solo did it.
Yeah.
I gotta tell that story to him. Somebody need to get this to him.
Wouldn't be surprised if my buddy Brandon was listening this morning too. Like, I'm still hungry too. Coming up, Titans injury report plus Cam Ward with a vote of confidence in his offensive line. That's next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, I'm here to tell you, nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency. Most of the time, we don't even know what it is, what it's going to cost, or if it's going to get fixed right. Or the worst part of it is, if somebody's just trying to sell you something you do not need, well, what I will tell you this, when Hiller techs come to your house, you don't have to worry about that either because they're very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened too. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years, and our family owned and operated. Best part about doing business with Hiller is this, man. Well, one of the best parts is the price you're told is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Everything is itemized. They show it to you. You confirm it. You check it. You sign it on a tablet and hand it back to them. And that's exactly as you pay, man. And it'll get fixed right every single time. Their motto is this: happy you'll be or the service is free. If you're not satisfied with the job that Hiller does, they will make it right by either giving you your money back or correcting it for you, but it will get done right. All right. So don't waste time booking with somebody else, man. To learn more about Hiller the same way that I did or book with them, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
It is 7:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans were back on the practice field yesterday as preparations for the Los Angeles Rams begin for Sunday's home opener at Nissan Stadium. In the first injury report of the week, 4 players for the Titans did not practice. J.C. Latham, Quandre Diggs, Tavondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings. 3 players were limited. L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key. Titans head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media ahead of practice yesterday, looking ahead to Sunday's matchup against the Rams.
Really good football team. They played really well last year, deep into the playoffs. Good defense, good offense, solid special teams unit. I think the edge players on defense are really, really good players. Those guys have anchored that defense. They play with great effort on defense. Offensively, obviously, I think Matthew Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks in football. They're really good at running the football. They're committed to it. You can tell they're a playoff caliber football team.
In NFL news yesterday, San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that quarterback Brock Purdy could miss multiple weeks with a shoulder and toe injury, and that he is a long shot to play this Sunday at New Orleans. Former first-round pick in quarterback Mack Jones is in line to start if Brock Purdy cannot go. Tonight, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime in Green Bay as the Green Bay Packers host the Washington Commanders. Both teams are 1-0 to start the season, and the Packers are the 3-point favorite in tonight's game. Kickoff is set for 7:15 p.m. Central Time. You can also hear Westwood One's coverage right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 7 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee in hour number 2 on this Thursday morning. Thursdays around these parts known as Friday Junior, as we get you ready for the NFL weekend. Commanders and Packers Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime tonight. Of course, Tennessee and Georgia on Saturday. Much more still to come on that, as voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, who celebrates a birthday today, comes on the show at 8:20. And TJ Shockley, former Georgia quarterback, is on at 9:20.
Good stuff, man. We had people over here, my Georgia friends, out here asking for George Foster to come on. It's like, hey, we got DJ Shockley coming on, man. He said, right on. If you know George, that's how he speaks.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
We're an inclusive show, by the way, too. We invite the enemy over here, man.
Yeah,
I want to make sure other cities do the same as we do.
We're not doing our jobs if we don't.
I see you're a real one, Will. I'm talking about in other cities, though. Do they invite Vols on there to talk trash every once in a while? Okay.
Say so.
Okay. Equal opportunity out here.
Yesterday, the Tennessee Titans were without 4 players on the practice field. Quandre Diggs did not practice with a hand injury. J.C. Latham and that hip problem that kept him out late in the game in Denver did not practice. Khalil Mullings with an ankle injury. It's the same ankle as the one he went into last week with. He re-injured on kickoff against Denver. Did not practice. And Tavondre Sweat, ankle, did not practice. According to Brian Callahan earlier this week, though, it seemed like Latham was the most serious one. We'll see. Sometimes those big guys, you never know. They're putting a lot of weight on a lot of those joints and a lot of those injured parts of their body, so you just see how it progresses. Kevin Winston Jr. did not practice with a hamstring injury. Arden Key did not practice. Kevin Winston Jr. limited. Arden Key limited and L'Jarius Sneed limited. If you're surprised that Sneed is limited, you haven't been paying attention.
Right.
That shouldn't concern anyone on a Wednesday because that is clearly the plan to get him ready. He was limited a lot of last week and was fine in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Limited is a part of his. You know what limited is for most people, like in those positions?
You're a vet, and we don't need you out there on Wednesday.
We're going to do individual.
That's right.
You might get a red zone, and that is your day. Like, that's just how it goes.
Or you could take half the reps with the ones.
Exactly.
Like anything less than 100% participation is considered limited. There is nuance to how limited a player is.
I hated the limit is because I was like, just let me go inside. Don't limit me, man. If I'm in, I'm in. But that's just, you have to do that so the guys have that familiarity with themselves, their feet, and just the defensive plan going in mind, too. Like, don't pay attention to the limited is what I would say.
Agreed. Agreed, especially on Wednesday. Call me on Friday.
Yeah, yes, Friday's a day.
For the LA Rams, a lot of offensive linemen who did not practice yesterday. Steve Avila with an ankle. Kevin Dotson with an ankle. Rob Havenstein with an ankle. What's going on with SoFi Field turf? Dang.
Big ankle is having a problem out in L.A.
That's funny. Kobe Parkinson, a tight end, missing practice with a shoulder injury. Devontae Adams did not practice with a rest designation. And Davis Allen, tight end, knee limited. Cam Ward defended his offensive line yesterday. A man after Ramon Foster's own heart. Here is the number 1 overall pick talking about what he needs to do to help his offensive line up front.
I think it was more of me just not getting the ball out in a stance of, especially the back-to-back sacks. At that point, we in field goal range, like, just throw the ball over the receiver head out of bounds if you feel it. So that's just stuff that, I got to get better at week by week. And then at the end of the day, nobody going to be perfect. I want y'all to get up there and try to block one of them big boys on the D-line. It ain't that easy. So me and the O-line, we good. I had some bad pocket movement as well. So I take full, just responsibility on my part. They'll do the same as well. And then, this is their first game, with me in a live set and not me getting taken out, for a preseason game. So, we still getting, used to each other. But, we gonna turn around fast and try to get a win this week.
A man after your own heart.
Y'all get up there and you block them big old dudes like that. Y'all heard Cam. Y'all, I wish you would get up there. He took ownership and saying, yeah, I should have thrown it out there. That's sack one on them. That's subtract one from them. Yeah. Yes, that's right, Cam. You can be better. You will be better. I'm joking now, but what I'm saying is this. That's how you win. That is how you win. The part that he said he's got to get the ball out and throw it over the wide receivers out of the end zone, we knew this was going to be a part of his problem. This is what he did in Miami. This is why Miami was able to win those games down the stretch. This is a different league, though, and Cam is figuring that part of it out. Like, this is why some people are going to hate I say this, but, this is why it's good to have negativity. It's easier to correct negativity than it is positive stuff, because positive stuff in a player's mind tells him, I got away with it. I'll be all right. I'll try it again. No, this is where a throwaway is a whole lot better than taking a sack in those moments right there. And he was smart to say that. And also in defense of his big boys up front, legitimately, he wins with them. You're going to see somebody get a fine for him because of what he just said right there. I understand how hard that job is now. That's offensive line, quarterback love 101 right there. Y'all take it, receive it, and ingest it and give it back to the world.
He's got to pick the moments to try to create and try to get out of the pocket, and also pick his moments to just eat it.
Yeah.
There are times in the red zone where if you can't get to your second target, or you can't get to anyone that's open, you got to understand, too, there are options to check it down. And that's the element of Cam that I think is going to be the biggest process, Ramon, for him to improve is, can you just be content taking a 4-yard out to the tight end or dumping it down to the running back? And to be fair to Cam as well, the explosive play that he created on the opening drive and on his first pass attempt was a check down to Tony Pollard. He just stepped up in the pocket. He climbed the pocket and found Tony on an incredible throw in the flat in order to keep the chains moving. Can you still do that on 3rd and 15, knowing that you're not going to get enough to get to the sticks, but you're keeping the line moving? Because ultimately, Ramon, the difference between a sack where you go back 10 yards and a 4-yard gain on 3rd and 15, you're talking about 14 yards of hidden yardage. Yeah. That's significant.
It is.
That is absolutely significant. That could be the difference in your punter feeling like he can pin a guy deep and pin him inside the 5 or 10-yard line versus they're fielding a punt. Marvin Mims is fielding a punt at the 10 and could take it up to the 20 or 25. Then you're talking about a 25-yard difference, all because you took 4 yards on 3rd and 15 and not a 10-yard sack.
Absolutely.
Brian Callahan spoke as well about his feeling about the offensive line, was asked if he was disappointed about the O-line play in Denver.
I thought the disappointment is probably strong. I think we could have played better up front in the game. I do think it's fair to mention that team last year was the number 1 pass rush team in football. They were going to be a challenge. We couldn't help everybody all the time, and there's going to be some one-on-ones, and we did a good job in some and not as good a job in other points. So have to be better there, certainly. It wasn't a one-person problem, and we had some leakage at all parts at certain times. But yeah, I think I was, I thought we could have played better than we did over the entirety of the game as a unit. But that's also a front that presents a ton of challenges really up and down the line. They're good all the way across. So got to improve for sure. Dan in particular? Yeah, I mean, he's facing up against the second or third leading sacker in the league last year. Really talented speed rusher. Nick Benito, he won some matchups for sure. When you play one-on-one against guys like that, they win some too. That's part of the way that works. But I think Dan had some really good reps, and I think there's one or two or three there in some of those passing situations that I think he could have executed maybe better. But those guys are going to win reps too. They get paid. He got paid a whole lot of money to do what he did. So I think that's the give and take.
Even more reason, Ramon, for this offense to stay out of 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Help yourselves. And they were in 3rd and 11 and a half on average on Sunday when they had 3rd downs.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, and it's just my personal opinion. Somebody asked me about the disappointment in the offensive line play. I think it's disappointment in not seeing the play go the way you want it to as a coach. Knowing that if those guys did hold up, there may have been something down the field. There's disappointment in not seeing it develop. And also the other side of it too, the growth that this group has to have in understanding who's hot this play. As he said, the one-on-ones, bro, it's hard being in them positions to where this play succeeds or fails just based on one person. And that is how you win your one-on-one. So the challenge that I'm hoping Callahan and his crew is giving to Dan Moore or just individually to the 5 guys that are in there, when it's time for you to win, you got to go win in those moments because we have shots down the field that you got to take. And that is professionally something that those guys got to step up to.
I don't think the Titans signed Dan Moore because they believed he was a finished product that could step in right away and be elite. They signed Dan Moore because they felt like he was closest to being a finished product with coaching from Bill Callahan. He was going to give you a higher floor than a rookie. Yeah. That you were going to have to draft on day 2 versus someone that you're going to take in the first round, obviously, because you're taking Cam.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Dan Moore had a bad day in Denver. 1 week. Let's see how he responds. Yeah, he's paid handsomely, and he was a big free agent addition. That is as much about the market of left tackle, more so than it even is the quality of player. The Titans believe that he can be the quality of player based on what he is getting paid. But what he's getting paid is also dictated by the other available options and the opportunity cost of, well, if I don't get Dan, who else do I get?
Mm-hmm.
It's economics.
I'd have loved to have been in this era for guards.
Left tackle economics. Yeah, that's right.
Bro, guards?
I bet.
Whew. Yeah, you're right. It's the times.
Coach Mack at Titans Radio joins us next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. Will's going to tell you about the deal. I'm going to tell you about some of the stuff why we trust Window Nation, okay? A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. 50-point inspection on every window before it leaves the factory, and then there's a 20-point inspection on every window when it's installed. Your new windows can also be installed in a day or less, and one of the best parts is they have a 96% customer satisfaction rating. They don't just hand those out, Will.
No, they don't, Ramon, and the offers you get from Window Nation are a big reason why Window Nation customers love them so much. Save big this month. Buy 2 windows, and you'll get 2 free. Make no payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with the monthly payments, a down payment, or interest until 2027. With over 45,000 5-star reviews and with windows that can be installed in 1 day or less, you need Window Nation windows, and you need Window Nation employees on your team. WindowNation.com is the website. The phone number, 866-90NATION. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation online at WindowNation.com. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone here in hour number 2 of this Thursday. Every time you hear this music, you think of Coach Mack, Titans Radio's head coach, who joins us. Coach David Gittes, presented by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Mack, how we doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Will. Morning, Ramon.
Good morning.
Doing good. Just getting ready for a week.
Getting ready, Mack, for the Coach Mack Bowl this weekend between the Titans and the Rams. Looking at this Rams team, Mack, what stands out about the way Sean McVay, the way Les Snead, and just the way this organization has built their success? How have they done it, Mack?
Well, first of all, I mean, he had a pretty good base early on. They brought Matthew Stafford in. That was a big, big piece. And then they've done a nice job of refilling it, with draft picks. They really have. They've done a really good job, especially in the last 3 drafts. Getting guys that can play and not having real high draft spots. I mean, that's what you have to do. They've been fortunate with injuries. They stayed relatively healthy for some of their better years, but getting Matthew Stafford in there was a huge, huge piece to putting all of it together. They already had a pretty good defense in place when Sean got that job, and then they continued to build the offense. And the quarterback was the final piece. And Matthew Stafford, the trade of Jared Goff, for Matthew Stafford, kind of put him over the top.
Mack, what does Matthew Stafford do well that fits Sean McVay's offense?
Well, Matthew Stafford's probably one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. I mean, the guy is. I remember talking with Jim Schwartz when he was the head coach here at Detroit with him, and said, not just his physical talent, of course, his arm talent. He's got one of those exceptional arms, but he's really a tough dude. So, very mentally and physically tough, and from all indications, he's exactly what you'd want as a quarterback as far as the leadership goes, and just his demeanor on the field. He can make any throw, every throw. He's extremely smart, and he understands what he can do and what he cannot do. Even at his advanced age, he's as I say, I think he's in the top tier quarterbacks in this league, and he's been able to do that ever since he came out, because he was really blessed, with a very, very talented arm strength. Very talented arm strength.
No doubt about it, Coach Mack. He does a lot for them, man. On the other side of this, Sean McVay, I feel like, came into this league as a offensive-minded guy, one of those young, smart guys that was going to turn himself into something. I thought more offensive with him. But watching his pathway and being the L.A. Rams head coach, he has baptized himself, Coach Mack, into finding the right defensive players for his team. And that's somewhat been their calling card more than the offense has been, I feel like, as of late, Mack.
Well, their defense was, when he took over, it was strong. He initially, hired Wade Phillips as his first coordinator, who, Wade said he really, really was like what the talent was then. And so, I mean, Sean came up, he's a Shanahan disciple. And people get it twisted that Shanahan, I'm talking about Mike Shanahan, was just an offensive. He was a great offensive tactician, but he understood the importance of defense, and he understood what type of defensive players gave his offense problems, and he looked for those kind of guys. And I think Sean, kind of took a page out of that book, and so they've done a nice job of putting talent together there, and keeping talent. I mean, that's they've got enough cash in that ownership there, because I was there with those people. I know. I mean, they can go cash over cap to keep people there, and it's a good combination of what they have running there right now. And then plus, once they got that new stadium there, that's the one also that kind of put them over the top as far as being able to attract players in there.
It's fascinating you say that, because if you look on the defensive side of it with Jared Verse, with Byron Young and Braden Fisk and Kobe Turner, they are very young, Coach Mack. What can you tell us about that group of guys, along with Poona Ford, who's a veteran of that group, that like they found a type that they want that LA Rams defense to look like, and they're all young. Coach Mack, what's the challenge that this offense has this week against those guys up front?
Well, I mean, they had a huge challenge last week. Last week was probably, one of the top defenses in the league that they faced, and they found out, how dangerous it is to get to 3rd and 11 plus against that type of a defense. I mean, you just and they were a little more mature than this group. This group now is young and coming on the same path. This group can rush the passer, and this group is also, as you say, they are young. And the thing about them is they've got a type, and when they go out and look for a type, I mean, Fisk is a great example. You go all the way back as to when we were there. I mean, Aaron Donald was a type. And it didn't fit everybody, but Aaron Donald fit what we were trying to do, and Braden Fisk is just the same thing. So they know who they're looking for when they go to get it, and when you know that, and when you've been together long enough, and you've got the continuity going in what you're doing, you can go out and find the type that fits into what you are trying to put together.
Coach Tate McGinnis with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford here on Ramon and Will. Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator for the LA Rams, Mack, and last week against Houston, they were able to get home with 4. They only blitzed 23% of the time, but they generated a 75% pressure rate when they did blitz against C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans. How do you think this defense will try to attack and try to beat Cam Ward and the Titans offense on Sunday?
Well, they did the same thing that they saw what Denver did. Denver was having early on, when the Titans could run the football. I mean, Denver was forced to play it straight up. Once that second half started, and you're averaging 3rd and 11 plus against a defense like that, then they'll do just exactly what they did. They'll put them all up on the line of scrimmage, and back those guys off to the sticks, and then tsunami rush it. Get the one-on-ones. You got 5 across the board. It's one-on-one up front. It's hard. You can't double everybody when they've got 5 up, or you'd be doubling with 10 people, and you only got 11 to play with. So, I mean, the issue is you've got to be successful against defenses like they played last week, and this defense this week. You've got to be successful on 1st and 2nd down. You've got to stay out of 3rd and double digits. I mean, that was of utmost importance going into last week. They did not do that in the second half, and you saw the result, because anytime, and especially when you have a young quarterback, you put 5 of them up there and build a picket fence back there behind it. They're not playing coverage; they're playing sticks. So again, 1st and 2nd down success is what you've got to do if you want to stay away from that tsunami rush.
Mack, what did you like about Cam Ward's debut in Denver, and what are some of the things you think that Brian Callahan wants to see him improve upon on Sunday?
Well, the first thing is, I mean, he was look, the guy has got an unbelievable arm talent, and the other thing is he had way too many drops. He was throwing some tight windows, because those windows, again, even later in the ball game, those windows were very tight just because of what I explained. They were able to bring 5 up. They were able to play the sticks, and so those downfield shots that you have to take then at 3rd and 11 plus are really, those have to be tight window throws. The guy can make all of those. He learned really quick in this league. You cannot bail out of the back of the cylinder. You just can't. You're not fast enough. No quarterback is fast enough. The only quarterbacks I've ever coached defense against in all the years that I did it that were fast enough to bail out the back and then outrun angles to the outside were Michael Vick and then Randall Cunningham. Nobody else couldn't do it. I haven't, and I've coached a few ball games defensively in this league, so you can't do that. You got to understand, sometimes it's either throw it completely out of bounds, or try to find a little bit of a crease and hit a check down, because you're not bailing out backwards or sideways, especially in a longer down and distance against a really good defensive front.
Coach Mack, is fascinating because that's exactly what Cam Ward's response was about the offensive line and the pressures that he took and the acceptance of those plays himself. And, Coach, I just want to ask this to you, too. Like, having bad plays or losing sucks, but why is it so much easier to coach up negativity than it is when guys are high and winning football games and stuff like that from a coach's perspective?
Well, it just depends on how you approach your team. Here's the thing that professional football players and professional coaches appreciate about one another, and you can really coach the same way both times if you've developed a baseline of honesty no matter what's going on. That's where it starts, because there's no hiding from it. I mean, they film this stuff with 4K, right? You can see what's going on. You know what's going on, and so if there is no sugarcoating of anything from the time that you start your program, then you can be honest with who's right. It doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong, because both players and coaches are going to be wrong. Both those sides have to admit when they're wrong and say, we got to pull this thing together. Let's do it together. That's the only way that you could do it. That's the only way I learned, from some really good head coaches that I was under. They started out with a policy of honesty, and then you might not like what you're hearing, but at least you know it's coming from a point of telling the truth.
Coach Mack, the beautiful thing about the regular season is injury reports, I feel like, for coaches and players alike. I'm sure the Rams are going to be looking at if J.C. Latham is playing or not. But the Rams got a problem, too. Their interior of the offensive line got some issues, and ankles are down right now in Los Angeles region. You have to expect, the way Jeffrey Simmons rushed last week and those guys got pressure up the middle, if either one, Kevin Dotson or Steve Avila, aren't in, you got a game plan against what their deficiencies could be this upcoming weekend for the Rams.
Well, yeah, I mean, that you have to win up front no matter what. I mean, we saw that in that ball game, that we just played last week. When you were winning up front and were running the football early, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. And so, absolutely, and it matters. It matters who's playing. The people that are starters for a reason, because they're better than the people behind them. That's just the way it goes. And the deeper you go into the people behind them, the less chance you have of being successful on a consistent basis. Not successful every now and then, on a consistent basis. So, injuries are a major part of the National Football League, and you got to understand that if you do have injuries on your part, that people are going to come after that weak spot, and you have to understand if they have injuries, that's the spot that you try to soften up.
Coach Mack, I had a good conversation with Jim DK yesterday that fans can listen to on Titans Countdown, getting ready for kickoff on Titans Radio on Sunday. And I asked him, what makes Bones Fossil such a good special teams coach? Mack, I know you spent a lot of time with him, and obviously as someone who was the former interim head coach of the Rams, and Bones Fossil, who knows a thing or two about this organization as well. With the steps forward that the special teamers took on Sunday and causing that fumble and being in position for that play, the 70-yard return from Jim DK, what are some of the things that you feel like make Bones Fossil such an elite special teams coach in this league, Mack?
Well, I mean, it's his passion. That's all he wants to be, and he conveys that to his players, and they want to play for him, and plus he puts them in advantageous positions, and he lets them play free. I mean, just all up and down. Of course, I've been saying this since we hired him, because Fisher and I went after him pretty hard when he was with the Raiders, and we took that thing over with the Rams. I mean, if somebody's good and you know what you're looking for, you understand it. Then once you're around him, I mean, he's one of the brightest, and he's one of the most positive people you'll ever be around in your life. But that's his passion. His passion is having players buy into the special teams. And some of the best things that they did, I mean, the return was great, but the blocking part of it,
right,
and the way it was set up was even better. I mean, that's, that I look at it, from a 30,000 point view when I'm up there, like a head coach would look at it. And then, of course, I get to see him practice every day. I know what he had worked on. I mean, he just gets it, and he understands it, and he knows how to convey it to his players, and his players know that he's genuine. I mean, if you ever get a chance to go to one of his meetings, you'll feel it. Those guys really want to go into a special teams meeting, which is kind of unusual sometimes in the National Football League.
That's so true, Coach Mack. I'll never forget. I'm sure I know you know him. Danny Smith meetings the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Danny Smith's one of the best.
Will, you wanted. You wanted to go to his office and see the quote board, or you wanted to be in his meeting because the special teams coach, Coach Mack, they make you understand what the NFL is too.
Yeah, and Danny's the same way. I've known Danny for a long time, all the years we've been in this league. I mean, he's one of the best because guess what he wants to be? He wants to be a special teams coach.
Yeah.
That's his craft. That's his passion in life, just like Bones.
No doubt about it.
Coach Mack with us every Thursday, presented by our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Mack, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
All right, see you guys. Moan, good luck this weekend, brother.
Thanks, Coach. Same to you, man. You guys sounded awesome last weekend, so I was paying attention and listening, man. Y'all even baptized Will a little bit with some good news, Coach Mack.
Well, we're all in this together.
Yeah, we are.
I love it.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you, Mack.
Thank you.
See you guys.
All right, Coach Mack with us this morning.
Listen, the special teams coach, man, that meeting is loud, is energetic, is truthful as heck, man. And if you want to, depending on their types, Will, if you want to hear a coach have a PhD in cursing, go to a special teams meeting. Cursing and truth.
PhD in cursing.
I'm talking about, and cursing and truth is a special teams meeting because a job is dependent upon making a linebacker understand that his role is just as much as an offensive lineman. Or DB that's never played special teams a day in his life. Like, you got to break down and do this on these plays. I think that's why, well, maybe not this week. I was going to say that's why John Harbaugh is so good of a coach because he's former, I don't want Bert, my bad if you're listening, but he's a former special teams coach.
You're just rubbing it in.
Listen, we talking about Florida asking for their coach to be fired. Baltimore asking for theirs.
No, I mean, it is fair, though, to say that on a team that struggled to score points on Sunday and is going to have some growing pains with a rookie quarterback, the hidden yardage on special teams has never been more valuable to the Titans than it is right now.
It showed up in a major way.
And in today's NFL, where a touchback brings it to the 35, as well as Joey Sly can kick it, you are one first down away from being in Joey Sly field goal range. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly.
Yep.
Coach Mack with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford. You can join us Monday at Two Rivers Ford, 76 Belinda Parkway, Mount Juliet, to find out how you can help fill a Ford with non-perishable food items to help feed our community. It is all part of Ford Motor Company's Global Caring Month and the world's largest food drive. To learn more, visit 1045thezone.com/events or visit tworiversford.com today. We will be out there. All of our shows will be broadcasting live from Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet Monday for a great cause. So you can learn more. Head to our website and check us out. We'll be out there Monday morning. Coming up, we've got an injury report for Tennessee and Georgia. We got the quarterback's dad doing an interview with On3 saying we won the trade. That's next.
Let's talk about your hair just real quick. I promise you I'll be fast, okay? All right, so if you're losing your hair and you desire to have it back, then Advanced Hair Restoration has the easiest guaranteed solution. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results, and I've seen it with my own eyes, too. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actually science, okay? Advanced Hair has it all. Top-rated doctors, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins regrowing the very next day. Advanced Hair even guarantees it grows for life also. So schedule your free consultation now. Their number is 629-348-HAIR. If you qualify, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and they are the team I personally recommend. So don't wait. Check them out Check out the befores and afters online. Again, the number is, put it in your phone, 629-348-HAIR, or visit their website at advancedhair.com.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. What in the bro country am I listening to?
Moon. I was just talking to Justin right there. I'm not familiar
You don't
with this.
recognize Nico Moon?
No.
I love some Nico Moon.
What is this?
Bro, time to add Nico Moon to the playlist.
Rest of the day is Nico Moon Day.
No, please
Is
no.
it really? Who is Nico
I don't want to.
Moon?
I don't need any more of this.
Minus the Sopranos for one Mike K and Franklin.
Of course.
No sad songs.
Coming up in 15 minutes,
listening.
we have Titans tickets to give away. Couple of them. Titans and Rams this weekend in Nissan Stadium.
You don't want to miss the home opener.
No, you don't.
You don't want to miss that.
There was a comment earlier saying, like, oh, Cam Ward's not ready for how many Rams fans are going to be there. Home opener, there's going to be Titans fans in there.
There's going to be plenty
Yeah.
there. Don't get that misconstrued.
Plus, the
man.
Rams would have to have fans in order to fill the stadium.
He say he's too busy on the beach
In the
right now, man.
in the great California to Nashville migration, the Rams were still in St. Louis when that began.
Tell him, man.
So I don't think it's going to be that many Rams fans. I think it'll be a very pro-Titans crowd on Sunday.
That's what I was going to say. You got to give yourselves a little bit more credit with this type of stuff.
100%.
Legitimate.
A lot of people haven't seen Cam Ward play football in person yet.
Exactly.
They get their first opportunity to do so
They're
Sunday
still-
against the LA Rams.
We just let a bad moment ruin the entire day. Like, we're talking about, like, one day of the week.
That's right.
And it bleeds over into the next one, too. Like, come
That's
on,
right.
y'all.
Injury report for Tennessee and Georgia. 3 players declared out by head coach Josh Heupel. Jermod McCoy, Ricky Gibson, and David Hobbs. No surprise. 4 players are questionable. David Sanders, Jackson Moy, Tyree Weathersby, and running back Hunter Barnes.
I say all the 4 go.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd
Absolutely.
be great on Moy and Weathersby. We need them.
Need more.
Need them
and
badly.
Weathersby. Yeah, both of them, man.
I think even if David Sanders is available, he is your backup tackle for this game. I think he makes his first start next week against UAB.
This is a big test for Jesse Perry if he's at tackle, though, too.
It is.
Yeah.
And, maybe if Jesse Perry struggles, you have time to put your number one combination back out there. I just worry about a freshman tackle against Georgia in his first career start. Has not played a second of college football yet.
I can't wait till we get Hubs on tomorrow because Hubs and Mike Keefe had their talkback show earlier this week. And Hubs, he almost convinced me. He was just like, well, if you started the season off with David Sanders as your opening day starter, and you telling me this is a game where you need your best 5, because he was one of the best 5 that you thought in game 1.
Fair enough.
He should be there. And I was like, dang, Hub, why'd you have to cook like that? But I am a believer in, like, you sometimes you just got to throw him into the fire.
Sure.
I don't know about this one, though.
Juan Gaston, starting lineman, questionable on Georgia's report. He'll play. Ernest Green is probable. He'll definitely play. 3 players are out. Tight end Ethan Barber, wide receiver Thomas Blackshear, and outside linebacker Chase Linton. None of those are starters.
No, but I was worried about the Barber kid, though. Just in general, like, tight ends against Georgia's always seem to be a problem.
Was last year.
Yeah, it was. Don't like that. If you got one less, and there's probably another 5-star behind him. So
That's a fun adjustment I'm excited to see in this game. How does Tim Banks and the Tennessee defense adjust to what Georgia did well last year? Georgia ran a lot of tempo. They had a lot of pre-snap eye candy. They moved those running backs around, and they got the tight ends open in space against Tennessee inside linebackers. Tim Banks is paid to find solutions to that. He's paid handsomely. Honestly, it's funny. Georgia fans hate Mike Bobo. That was as good of a game that Mike Bobo has called at Georgia.
he cooked.
He was excellent against Tennessee last fall. Excellent. And we called that out in the moment of like, nah, Georgia is like, that's the kind of ingenuity that Georgia fans want to see more of. Like, scheme guys open for me. Be exciting. Be fun to watch. And on that day, Georgia was really fun to watch on offense, unless you're a Tennessee fan.
He found matchups and exposed them and exploited them. And Tennessee didn't have a counter to all the things that he was doing last year, too. I mean, we're talking about a team that they have the bodies, but the way they had 70-yarders, 80-yarders, and a 90-yard drive, I don't know why they dislike Mike Bobo, but that's a man right there.
That's not happening enough.
Yeah, well, it's that part. Well, this would be a great week for it not to happen again, Mike Bobo. Like, seriously. What are we talking about? I understand what they are as a team.
Sure.
But you look at that situation, you say, for OC to be able to have those types of drives where you milk and bleed the clock, and you honestly, to be real with you, you take the souls of teams.
Yep.
When you ain't got no answer for their first jab, and you know the jab is coming, like, you see the scar on my eye. It's blood in my eye right now, and you continually hit this spot and I can't stop it. That's tough.
Jose Aguilar, the father of Tennessee quarterback Joey Aguilar, tells Pete Nakos of On3 that being able to play close to family was big for us and Joey. When Joey Aguilar was going to be the quarterback at UCLA, he had worked with Tino Sinceri in spring as Nico Iamaleava was contemplating next steps. It wasn't until Iamaleava entered the portal and UCLA became a rumored destination that Aguilar thought the Bruins would go in a different direction. Jose Aguilar tells On3, we were kept in the dark from UCLA. Says they didn't tell us anything. Obviously, the writing was on the wall. We were finding out everything on social media. But even when they were in negotiations with Nico, they weren't telling us anything, Jose Aguilar says. Quote, Joey thought he could stay and compete. He wasn't scared of that. But it was clear they were going to go in a different direction regardless of talent. It was a tough decision to leave, but it was clear it was the best decision. Says, we didn't have a lot of information until they called and told us Nico was coming. Now, here's the quote that really has gotten people talking. Jose Aguilar, we don't have problems with Nico. If anything, it's thank you. Joey is in a great spot. That's what I would say. Thank you. He did what he decided to do. Everything that happened, happened. Quote, I think it's clear who won the trade. Look at the fans and the stats. Everything happens for a reason. We're not at Tennessee without Nico making the decisions he made.
From a parent's perspective, he's supposed to say that. That is backing your kid up. And
but he's right.
He is. And I'm just saying, like, to be left in the dark like they were from UCLA's perspective, that has to suck. It's like being in a situation where you know you've been done wrong and you're hearing the rumors, but they're lying to your face.
Like, imagine if you at your job today, if you're driving to work right now, saw on social media that your employer was trying to give a major raise to someone and the job that they were going to be taking is yours.
It's yours.
Wouldn't like that.
Would not like that at all. UCLA, I don't want to call them flagrant because business is business when you look at it in the end. But that is a tough place to be at as a young man, still an amateur because he's not a pro. They treat him like pros, but that's tough. That's a tough look right there.
Former App State coach who was with Aguilar both seasons there tells On3 that he is confident Joey can thrive on Saturday. Says, quote, nothing bothers him. He has an elite arm. The thing about Joey that helped us win games is that he thinks he can throw every pass. He's worked for everything he's earned, and he's always been the same person. Tennessee has lucked into a better quarterback than it had last year. Mm-hmm. Coming up next, Brian Callahan talking about team morale, why this year is different than last year. We'll tell you what he said next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls, man. I'm here to tell you guys, like, that's exactly what they are. It's exactly what it is, and it's something that you need to get involved with if you have a busy schedule, man. Their website is medicalhousecalls.com, and they absolutely believe in that too, man. Here's the issue that we all fall into. We just get busy. And we don't have time to go sit in the waiting room. We don't have time to just get off work because work calls all the time. Well, you can go to medicalhousecalls.com and set up an appointment. It's Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available or next-day guaranteed if you need some time to set it up for yourselves. Their number also, if you can call or text them, 615-838-2375. You can put in your phone right now. And it's not just something that they have a multitude of things they can do for you. It's primary health. It's urgent care. It's IV therapy. Also weight loss for yourself, too. What will happen is you'll call and set up a time for them to come visit you. You'll get an evaluation. You'll get a full exam, a treatment plan, and prescriptions if you need them. This is a concierge medicine for you all to be able to just sit down, get evaluated in the comforts of your own home on your time. Website, again, is medicalhousecalls.com. If there's something you're thinking about or something you're dealing with and you don't want to go to the doctor, well, bring the doctor to you. Website is medicalhousecosts.com. And make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Will Boulding. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Just imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It is 8:04. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are back on the practice field today as preparations for the Los Angeles Rams continue for this Sunday's home opener at Nissan Stadium. In the first injury report of the week yesterday, 4 players of the Titans did not practice. J.C. Latham, Quandre Diggs, Tavondre Sweat, and Kalel Mullings. 3 players were limited, with L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key. Quarterback Cam Ward talked after yesterday's practice about what he learned from his NFL debut.
I would say it's a lot of stuff I want back just from my position, but that's going to be with every game. I always want plays back. But I'll say the biggest thing that I learned from in that game is you always in it, no matter if it's first quarter to fourth quarter, like you always got a chance to win a game. Offensively, we didn't come through with that, recognizing the coverages, but also just trusting to throw blind sometimes.
In other NFL news, San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that quarterback Brock Purdy could miss multiple weeks with shoulder and toe injuries and that he is a long shot to play this Sunday at New Orleans. Former first-round draft pick in quarterback Mack Jones is in line to start if Brock Purdy cannot go. Tonight, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime in Green Bay as the Packers host the Washington Commanders. Both teams are 1-0 to start the season, and the Packers open as the 3-point favorite. Kickoff is set for tonight at 7:15 p.m. Central Time, and you can also hear Westwood One's coverage right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 7 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour 3 on Friday, Junior. Thursday morning starts right here on Ramon and Will. Hit the podcast channel if you miss any of us. Any of our great conversations with Coach Mack at 7:20. Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, the birthday boy.
Birthday boy.
In 15 minutes. And DJ Shockley, former Georgia quarterback at 9:20. All of these things can get you to game day a little bit more quickly, either live, listening to the sounds of our voices right now, or if we're time traveling, hello from the past. Maybe you're driving to I-40. You're thinking, I need a UT Georgia preview to get me to Knoxville, to get me to game day. Maybe you're like us. You could do that drive with your eyes closed. So open your ears, close your eyes, and drive to Knoxville with the sounds of Ramon and Will. Wherever you download podcasts.
I'm doing it right now.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, 1045thezone.com where you can find us. Yesterday, Brian Callahan was asked about team morale and was asked about why this year could be different from last year. Here is the Tennessee Titans head coach.
Yeah, this team is very different from that. I understand where you're coming from. I know that feeling. But I didn't feel that at all from our football team in that game. I was frustrated at just the things that we could have done to win the game. In a game that I felt like we had a very good chance to win, to not come out of that playing better than we did in all 3 phases, I think was what was disappointing. Disappointed in myself, obviously, on top of it. So I love the makeup of our football team. I really do. I think they have the right mentality. They understand that we always are going to have a chance. They play really hard. They play with great effort. Those things are going to help us along the way, and we're going to win more football games. But that feeling that can creep in sometimes, I don't feel it from our guys. I think we've got really good leadership. The leadership has grown quite a bit, I think, in a year's time. And the new faces we've added and the young players and their demeanor and makeup gives me a ton of confidence that that's not something that we have to worry about. And I really do. I mean, I know it's only 1 week and all that, but I really do like the makeup of our football team and where they stand. It's a night and day difference in totality from a year ago.
Titans head coach Brian Callahan in his Wednesday press conference yesterday. Ramon, how do they prove that this year isn't like last year?
Winning, operation, winning, and just the operation. Like, this team has always, I feel like, had attitude. Whenever I played the Titans, I knew the attitude was going to be there. I don't think the attitude's changed. It comes with winning and the operation, and namely the operation of the offense. That's going to be the biggest tester for him and for this team, too, because we were of the mindset post Mike Vrabel, you're coming into the 21st century of offensiveness, right? Not offensiveness.
That's a good way to put it. Offensiveness.
He gonna show y'all his teeth. Y'all keep challenging him about how he is as a head coach. That's what I was thinking when he was answering that question too. But it comes with how this team operates offensively. I think is the biggest thing. The success of what Cam Ward is, and it starts there. What I'm seeing more of too, Will, is the success of this offensive line. That has been a question mark for the last 5 years, too. Coach Bill Callahan is now being challenged in there. The defense and special teams, I think, check the box. The biggest check that has to happen moving forward is what does this offense look like? And can they operationally be in a position to where they don't hurt themselves?
Right.
Bad teams do that.
Yeah, man, I think the biggest way that you prove that this year is different is by remaining locked in from weeks 1 to 18. I feel like the organization was very intentional in the veterans it brought in and short-term deals to bring in guys who they feel like were additions, not subtractions when things got tough. Yeah. There's an understanding within that building that this is a rebuild of a roster that really feels like is year 1 of a rebuild. In reality, it's closer to year 3 for fans because fans have kind of been enduring some lean time since obviously 2021 and half of 22. But ultimately for this vision, for this general manager, for this president of football operations, Chad Brinker, this feels like the beginning. It feels like step 1. So remaining poised, remaining calm through whatever this season throws at you is how they prove it. That means not getting blown out as much. It means not just quitting when things don't go your way. It means there is a comeback win or two in the cards. It means that you're not as penalized as you were a season ago or a week ago even. That's the kind of signals and signs that I want to see from this team. Improve on your weaknesses from Sunday in Denver until January. And you can take a step forward in that department by being less penalized, by protecting your quarterback better, and by running the football more consistently against the Los Angeles Rams. That's step 1 of proving your coach right, that leadership on this team is in a healthy position and that this team has a culture that is different from the one last season.
You know, the one thing that has to happen for this team this year, and I mean has to happen, in my personal opinion, to show that there's some belief in. I see the pushback. It's been more than 3 years rebuild.
Again, like I said, I don't blame fans for feeling that way.
No, they supposed to, right?
I don't blame anyone for feeling that way.
You're not pushing back on the fans saying, no.
But I'm telling you, within the organization, this is year 1 of a new identity.
For them. But one thing that has to happen this year, a streak, Will. A winning streak.
Yeah. That's a good point.
More than Cam looking good.
It's consistency.
3 games in a row, man.
Anybody in the NFL can win on any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Not everyone in the NFL can win over and over.
Right.
I mean, it truly is that simple.
It is.
Just go win games.
Right. The good teams, man, around the league, and I hate to separate one from the other, but the good teams around this league, they win 3 games, they lose 1. They might even lose 2, but then they win 4.
Mm-hmm.
Or they win 5. Like, can you imagine the vibes? And I hate to use that word like we do at times, but can you imagine the vibes on the 3-win streak?
It'd be great. That's proof of concept is what that is.
Proof of concept.
Yeah. You're looking for proof of concept this year. So, yeah, winning cures all, and it's an easy question to say. What do they need to do to prove this year is not like last year? Win more than 3 games. Okay, well, how do they do that? Be less penalized. Beat yourself less. Beat the opponent more. Sometimes that truly is the simple first step that you've got to take, and that's the step you hope they take on Sunday against the Los Angeles Rams. I do really think there is a matchup advantage for the Titans' interior defensive line against backups for the Rams up front. I think this is another low-scoring game where you're playing field position and defense, but you hope that you have enough explosive plays on offense that allow you to pull away. I think the Titans got a shot Sunday. Yeah. And that's a good football team, but I think your strengths match up well with Rams' weaknesses if they're not healthy in their center guard triangle up front on offense. Coming up next, voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, previewing a big Saturday in Knoxville next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you. You know, you've kind of seen that, or the driveway is cracked to sink into. My driveway is kind of cracked now. I need to call USS over right now. Or maybe your porch steps. Maybe they've moved on you, man. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation and just trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. Shimon Foster, and whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time, man. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injection to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company that I trust, man. You can go to USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. In Hour 3 on this Thursday, he's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling, pleased to be joined by the voice of the Vols, Mike Keith. Mike, first and foremost, happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's the reason I chose to come on today, because I knew you'd get to wish me a happy birthday and let everyone know on the air. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
That's so good right there, Mike. It's nothing like having everybody know it's your birthday, too. Oh, thank you.
Tremendous.
I love
Well,
it.
happy birthday again, Mike.
Thank you.
I love it.
Do I have to bring a cake Saturday still?
Yes.
Okay.
That you bake personally. I only accept homemade goods.
I got to
No
get
store-bought in the Ball Network booth.
I got to get it before Keisha goes out of town then, Mike. I got you. Keisha, you're listening. Make it now from scratch. Is that how you do the wife thing, Mike?
Wow.
No.
The wife thing.
I admire your style, but no, not in my house.
You're going to text it from my fiance in a minute, like, no, you don't. Right. Anyway.
I'm going to get one in about 3 seconds,
That's
Mike.
right.
Just wait
There you
on
go. There you go.
Huge mistake.
Mike, as you look forward to this matchup between Tennessee and Georgia, what is the question you are most excited to get an answer to about Tennessee and the way they match up with Kirby Smart's team this Saturday?
I think it's that. I think it's about the physical matchup, because it's going to let you know more about where this program is. When Josh Heupel came in and took over in 20, or the end of 20, start of 21 for the 21 season, Tennessee didn't have the personnel to match up with Georgia or the elite SEC teams. They got better, and they showed more in 22 and more in 23 and more in 24. I think the game last year in Athens in November, Tennessee showed they can match up physically. They didn't finish in the second half, though. Now, do they have more people? Do they have more ability to match up in that way and to go 60 minutes and complete the job against the Georgia Bulldogs? I think that's the overriding question, because for where Tennessee was, Will, they didn't have the athletes. And they had some skill players, and they had a good scheme, and they had some talented guys, but it takes a depth. It takes an overriding offensive line, defensive line, depth really everywhere, how physical you are on special teams, things of that sort, to beat a Georgia. And that's what they've had since Kirby Smart took over. That's what they've had, especially over the last 8 years where they've won 99 games. You just come to an understanding very quickly that in this league with the elite teams, if you are going to be an elite team, you must match up physically. This next recruiting class is another one where you can see SEC athletes throughout the class. Tennessee didn't have enough of them when Josh Heupel got here. It feels like he's getting closer to having that sort of level of talent, 1 to 85 or 1 to 90, 1 to 100, whatever you want to call it. We'll see on Saturday.
Mike, as you look at what Joey Aguilar has done so far, it feels like these are the kinds of games and stages that he has been counted out of through a lot of his career. And he has made a football life out of rising to the occasion in moments like this where a lot of people maybe nationally aren't giving him much of a chance. What has impressed you the most watching him? I know we've probably asked you this question the past couple of weeks, Mike, but I feel like we keep getting new info and new evidence of just how ready he is as he goes into a stage like this. What is your feeling on Joey and the way that he has met the moment so far in Knoxville?
It's a good question, Will. And just to give you something behind the scenes a little bit, Marty Smith from ESPN has been in town, and he's going to actually be on the Mike Keith show this afternoon between 2 and 4 on the Tennessee Athletics YouTube channel. Just throw a little plug for that.
Love it.
But in talking with, I probably owe you some money for advertising. I'll hit you later on Venmo.
We're good. We're good.
Thanks. But Marty came back, and the interview and the piece that he's doing for Game Day for ESPN on Saturday, I think it's going to be really special because we're continuing to peel back the layers of Joey Aguilar's journey to Tennessee. and the 24 years that it took him to get here. And the reason that Mama and Grandma were crying at the East Tennessee State game with tears of joy seeing him get this opportunity. Well, I think he's ready as a human being. I think that's the part of it. And you say, well, what does that even mean? I think this young man has seen some things, has grown, has been through a couple of ups and downs that make him ready to handle 102,000 and the national spotlight for Tennessee and Georgia. Now, the performance part of it, we'll see. We'll see if he's got the physical skills. He's got to have a lot of things around him go right. In this matchup in particular, the last 3 years, the Tennessee quarterback has been hit way too much. The Tennessee receivers have not gotten open. Tennessee hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in this game in the last 3 years, which is an amazing statistic for this offense. He needs a lot of help, but I think he's ready to meet the moment because I think as a person, Joey Aguilar, and as a football player, he's seen enough things that I don't think anything is going to overwhelm him. And I'm really, not only am I looking forward to the ball game, I'm looking forward to game day being here in Knoxville and looking forward to Marty Smith's story.
No doubt about it. We're joined by Mike Key, voice of the Vols, and Jess, also it's his birthday, so go to his social medias and wish him a happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
Mike, looking at this game this weekend, Carson Beck was there last year. We knew what Joe Milton was for the Vols last year also. This year, I'm not sure what Gunnar Stockton is. I know they're high on him. I know he's a highly rated guy from the state of Georgia. Joey Aguilar is a 24-year-old. This matchup is unique because there's a lot of unknowns about these guys in these type of matchups, but there's also a lot of youth and transfers on both sides too. How do we look at these two quarterbacks going into it and how we expect them to play, Mike, more than anything? I know Joey has the arm. Gunnar has the legs too. How do you view it?
It's an interesting question, Ramon, because Joey has 26 starts under his belt, but he doesn't have a start that compares to this one. Gunnar Stockton, this will only be his fourth start, but he started in the CFP quarterfinal last year. So he doesn't have the quantity, but he has a pretty big stage. He hasn't been on the road, however, for one of these. But here's what I was told by somebody who knows talent about Gunnar Stockton. Country strong, country tough, really, really smart, better athlete than what you know. And, he led them in rushing in the 45-7 win over Marshall. He's going to be a guy that I think, like Joey, has the ability to take off, in particular on third down. I think Gunnar Stockton in the run game is going to be a much bigger factor than Carson Beck. Tennessee has to get him in obvious passing situations where they can control the on-field narrative. And then they've got to get home. Tennessee has not sacked Georgia's starting quarterback in the last 3 meetings. Now, think about that. Mm-hmm. On offense, no touchdown passes. On defense, no sacks. Those are two areas where Tennessee has thrived under Tim Banks and certainly thrived under the Josh Heupel offense. They've thrived as a team in those two areas, pressure and being able to score through the air and make big plays through the air. So I think on both sides, Tennessee's got to help Joey Aguilar, and they've got to make it as tough as possible on Gunnar Stockton. But I'm impressed in watching him. I get it. I get why the Georgia players love playing for him. And you're going to have to get him on the ground before the play is over, meaning you can't just hit him. You're going to have to finish him. And that's going to be a hard thing to do. With their ability, talent-wise, everywhere else, they could be a championship team with this guy at quarterback. Mm-hmm. I'm fully confident in that because of who I think he is and what I think he does.
What's interesting this entire offseason, I feel like the conversation has been about the Vols' ability to score in the red zone. They've somewhat proven that over the last couple of weeks. I know it's not Georgia, but that is something that I do feel like watching last week. It was a premature snap, and Joey Aguilar caught it, was calm enough to still throw it into the end zone to Chris Brazzell. And that is something I'm hoping changes this week, Mike, with the emphasis on red zone offense for the Vols, just based upon the fact that Joey's a slinger. He can also utilize his legs, and that the physicality that we've seen the offensive line play with as of late, I love, and I've said this all this week, I've loved what the past offensive line was last year or the year before. But I don't know if they've been as physical as this group has been in the past 2 games, Mike. Are you seeing that physicality being able to match up front with the guys if they have to punch the football in the tight red zone?
Going to have to be. I mean, when you look at Georgia up front, it's impressive, like it always is. And the first thing that you start with is their size, Ramon. They're no 202-pound linebackers in their lineup. I mean, it's the old Bill Parcells theory is when in doubt, play the bigger guy. Bully him with size. And I think that's a lot of what Georgia's able to do is they have athletes at linebacker who are 235, 240 pounds. They certainly have the guys up front that they rotate through that are 300-plus pounds. They have athletes in that front 7. They have safeties that can and will tackle. They have corners that can and will tackle. So I think Tennessee's challenge in this game is going to be staying with blocks, receiver blocking, tight end blocking, all of those things factor in. Because, in my opinion, you're not going to win this game with 3s. You're going to win this game with 7s. And Tennessee's inability to get 7s in this series, 54 total points in 4 games, their inability to get 7s has been a big factor. They've had a chance to win a couple of those games. They've certainly been in them. They've had moments. Last year, Boo Carter being tackled on the punt return that would have made it 14-0, being tackled by the punter. You would think that's something that motivates him and that motivates Tennessee special teams. If you finish that and you go up there 14-0, is that a different game? Does that feel different? Is momentum different? Those to me are the challenges about this. And it starts with the run game in the red zone, because when you get down there, you want to finish and you don't want to take 3s. You want to get 7s. And to win a big game in the SEC, you have to be prepared to do that.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, our guest, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford and Volunteer Traditions. Mike, when you look at these Tennessee wide receivers, Mike Matthews made a play on that jump ball, and Mike's down there somewhere play that Joey threw to him against ETSU. Braylon Staley has already showcased his deep play ability. What's it been like getting to know some of those wide receivers, Mike, in a room that's not very deep? It still feels like when everyone's healthy, there's a really high level of talent there. Just for guys, and those two maybe specifically, because I think people have gotten to know Chris Brazel a little bit over the last year. What's it been like being around Mike Matthews and Braylon Staley, and two guys that have the opportunity to make some big plays for Tennessee against some great Georgia defensive backs?
Tennessee doesn't have a lot of depth at wide receiver in terms of experience depth, Will, but they do have good talent because Brazel, is Brazel the guy who's the second-year man in the Heupel system that comes on? We've seen those guys since Josh got here. Is guys in their second year have elevated.
Right.
Brazel's already caught half as many passes as he did all of last year. Already caught as many touchdown passes as he did last year. So if he becomes that reliable threat, then the other two guys can do their thing more and more. Here's what's exciting about Braylon. Braylon can play the slot, which is super, and he's already got 9 catches there and the 73-yard touchdown, but he can move outside too. So if you're going 2 wide receivers, if Brazel's off the field and you're 2 tights, which Tennessee likes to do,
right,
then Braylon can go outside and Matthews can play outside. Matthews has some versatility as well. He's a spectacular talent. Braylon is a bigger slot than what Tennessee has had. He's probably got 4 inches on Squirrel White in terms of height and probably 30 to 35 pounds, which is a big deal to break those tackles and be able to stand up to those hits. I tell you, guys, I'm still excited about the 3 freshmen. Radarius Jackson's catch the other day where he reached back like 17 yards and grabbed the ball. Excited about Joakim Dotson, who had the 27-yard catch. And then also really excited about Travis Smith as well. So I think Tennessee has more talent. They're just very inexperienced. What we're going to find, Will, is how physical are they? Because you know what you're getting. To say the Georgia D-backs are grabby would be an understatement.
Right.
And you better understand it's not going to get called because that's the style of play that they play with. And listen, if they can get by with it, perfect. I mean, good for them. If it's your team, you'd be thrilled. So it's not a criticism, it's not a complaint, it's not anything. They are physical. And going into this game, you have to win, and we're going to see if they're up to that challenge.
Mike, you had a lot of firsts, obviously, in Atlanta, and first broadcast, first game, first all of these things, football time in Tennessee, but another first in just being in Neyland Stadium for you on Saturday. What was it like? I know I've talked to Ramon about this, too, and just asked how much of a pinch-me moment was it being in that broadcast booth and being the guy? Just what was going through your head as the T opened for the first time Saturday against ETSU?
Don't screw it up. That was what was really kind of going through my head.
Perfect.
You're just trying to meet the standard of what the Vol Network is, and trying to meet the standard of the other people who are on the radio with you. The team of people we got, it's a very, very special group, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Proud to be representing the Vol Network, and just trying to do the best that I can for the Tennessee fans. And so when you're in the stadium and you see the T open, and the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and you realize that this is one of the most incredible moments, not just in college football, but in all of sport. I mean, there are people who want to see Neyland Stadium and the T open, even if they're not football fans, because they understand that there is nothing like this. There are other things that are similar, and there are other things that are a big deal. But this is one of the most signature moments and one of the most signature places in all of American sport. And it's an honor to be a part of it. And trying to meet that standard is something that brings pressure. It should. I mean, you better be ready to go. And so I hope I've been able to do that so far, and I'm going to try not to screw it up on Saturday.
You say that, and here we are, Mike, Vol Network, you, myself, Swain, Hubs, Ashley, Larry, everybody plays a part in it. Game 3, College Game Day. The cheapest ticket as it stands right now is $316, up to $1,000 plus. You expect it to be rocking this upcoming weekend, right?
You didn't try to sell your press pass again, did you?
I got enough money.
They frown on that, I'm told.
I got enough money to buy the cake now. I don't have to make it at home, is what I'm telling you.
It's why you love this, and it's why you do this. And I remember the moments coming to the stadium as a kid, walking in for 82 Alabama, walking in for 85 Auburn, walking in for 85 Vanderbilt to win the SEC. All of these things where you have big moments, you totally understand it, and you're so appreciative. And I think Tennessee fans right now are so appreciative because 5 years ago, when everything went down like it did at the end of the 2020 season, you thought it might be 10 to 15 years before you'd get back to this. And Josh Heupel has gotten this program back so quickly. You have such respect for Georgia. I mean, they've done it, man. I mean, they're 55-5 in the last 5 years. And I mean, it's crazy what they've been able to do. And you have to tip your hat. And they come in here, and I don't mean the pun, but they are the big dog. And you have a chance. You have a chance to do something, to elevate yourself in the conversation, to take a big step forward towards being in the college football playoff. You win a game like this, it's a big deal. You lose it, even for Tennessee or for Georgia, it's not the end of the world. And in some ways, that makes this even better because it's not like back in the 90s when you were playing Florida and you knew you were standing on the cliff that if you didn't win, you weren't going to have a chance to go to the SEC championship. Now it's different. Now you can just let the haymakers go and just feel all the feels and enjoy it. And I think that's what this Saturday is all about for Georgia fans, and certainly at home at Neyland Stadium, what it's all about for Tennessee fans.
Voice of the Vols, Mike Keith, joins us Thursdays at 8:20 here on the show. Tennessee and Georgia, of course, right here on our airwaves, courtesy of the Vol Network this Saturday. Mike, we're excited. Happy birthday. I hope Josh Heupel gets you a win for your birthday on Saturday.
That would be my number one gift.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Go Vols.
Yes, sir. Mike Keith with us here this morning, previewing Tennessee and Georgia, presented by Two Rivers Ford and Volunteer Traditions. Hope you've got a knob where you can turn up the Mike's voice and your voice in your ears, because it's going to be loud in there on Saturday.
It is. I'm looking forward to it, man. I've somewhat tempered myself yelling at my middle school practice at the boys out there that mess up.
Good.
Larry Stone told me, it's like, hey, you got to save your voice. And I was just like, I never thought about saying I'm yelling at kids. And I had to dial myself back that day because we had a little scrimmage, man. I was like, all right, I got to be ready this weekend.
That's right.
I ain't even playing.
Hot tea.
Yeah.
I'll give you my remedies to make
Okay.
sure your voice is good to go.
Please do. You've been at this for a while yourself.
Well, yeah.
By the way, I hope somebody catches the images of it. Ashley Farrell, who does a lot of the content and videos inside the studio or inside the press box, I hope she catches Mike one time before the kickoff. Mike is like in the corner, like he's about to box, like Rocky, bouncing back and forth like a boxer. If you see him, he's athletic. Mike is athletic as heck, and he's just bouncing and hopping, man, like he's about to run through the tee. It is. I was like, Mike, I didn't know your style.
Get in the zone.
He in the zone, man.
I love that.
Cool stuff.
Coming up, ESPN.com writers talking about what we're hearing, as Brian would say, around the NFL. Some nuggets on Cam Ward and the sense around the league out of Cam Ward's rookie debut as a Tennessee Titan. We got that for you next.
What we're hearing.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Are you having home electrical issues? Well, available 24/7, the League Company team handles electrical problems and more in short order. I'm telling you, at my house, I've got a notepad. It's right there on the counter, on the fridge, things that need to get done, things to do. And it's really easy with League Company because you just give them the list. They'll take care of it for you, whether it's routine repairs on outlets and switches, to fixture upgrades. Maybe you're looking to install a generator, keep the power on when the power goes out for everyone else. Well, League Company's award-winning electricians, they get the job done right the first time. Just contact League Company today for all your home electrical needs. Hand them the to-do list and head to leaguecompany.com. That's leaguecompany.com to schedule with an experienced electrician. You can call League Company as well at 615-567-1000. They're online at leaguecompany.com. That's League Company, all you need.
Something awesome is coming to Genesis Diamonds next weekend, September 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's a 3-day designer engagement ring event showcasing the world's top 2 brands in bridal jewelry, Tacori and Verragio. Tacori from California, Verragio from New York, both flying in their entire lines, including all new rings for this special event. You can explore hundreds of exquisite American-made designer rings, too. Plus, Genesis has special incentives like 0-interest financing up to $5,000 in instant savings. In addition, Genesis has an expanded selection of GIA-certified diamonds for this 3-day event. All shapes, all sizes, rock-bottom prices. This is the best of the best. Every Tacori ring is handcrafted by master artisans with exceptional quality. Every Verragio ring is made by hand with unmatched attention to detail. These are brands other jewelers only wish they could offer. But at Genesis, they have the entire Tacori and Verragio collections, and they'll be all on display this next weekend. Don't miss the bridal jewelry event of the year, September 19th, 20th, and 21st at Genesis Diamonds, located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
What's up? It's Will Bowling. You have heard about my new obsession. If you've listened to the show over the past couple of weeks as football season gets started, it is eating and drinking and parking lot season. So you need things that make it really easy. Snacks where you can have chips and wings and veggies. The dips are the glue of football days, and Daisy French onion dip is the dip you need in your life. Daisy has come out with this delicious Daisy French onion dip and a Daisy ranch dip. I'm telling you, These are a game changer. They are as delicious as a homemade dip, first of all. They're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You can get it at a grocery store near you. As you're stocking up for the tailgate, for the watch party, maybe it's just a one-person watch party. You on the couch watching football, that's all right. However many people are joining you, make sure that Daisy French Onion Dip is joining you on the couch or in the parking lot as you get ready for football this weekend. That's Daisy French Onion Dip. Check it out at a grocery store near you. Coming up in 10 minutes here on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee, Titans and Rams tickets. Right at 9 o'clock, top of the next hour. We got them for you. 615-737-1045 is our number. An NFL coordinator has gone on record about Cam Ward, Ramon Foster. They just haven't put their name on it. Jeremy Fowler, ESPN.com, with what we're hearing for week 2. Writing that the sense around the league is that Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward performed much better than his stat line. 12 of 28, 112 passing yards. Says playing a top 5 defense in a hostile Denver environment and working with a receiving core that committed several drops was a lot to overcome for Ward, who hung in the pocket and delivered several high-difficulty throws. As one NFL coordinator who watched the game said, quote, I think he is super talented and will have a great year. When he had time, he was accurate with unquestionable poise for a young quarterback. Athletic enough to stay alive to make off-script plays down the field. He is aggressive for a young guy, which will surprise lots of teams. Mm-hmm. Fair assessment?
That's very fair. That's the unknown factor of Cam right there. That's also where Cam has to be very smart with what he do in those unknown moments when it comes down to how he's able to craft up stuff on his own. That is the beauty of getting a guy like this. Like, this is referring back to the Jaden Daniels experience last year. Nobody knew what they were going to get themselves into. And the more and more you get successful of making those plays, the better you are as a player. I mean, I know that correlates 1-to-1, but what I'm getting at is this. You feel frisky enough to make those dicey plays. Like, I think that was the biggest thing that Jaden Daniels was for his team last year. He got confident in his ability to make those plays, and that's what Cam is. He hits those plays to Calvin down the middle, albeit I feel like a little bit safer with the safety coming down on him like that. But if you hit those, that lets everybody know, like, I got this. We're good as far as this offense goes. One thing I was more impressed with, his arm strength to throw from one hash to the sideline. We're seeing all of those things.
The throw to Gunnar Helm on his third NFL throw of his career was high level.
High level.
Yeah.
And that's the part that everybody's saying. Like, I use this analogy often. It's like seeing a puppy with big paws. What do we say every time we see it? Oh, there's going to be a big dog right there. We ain't seen it. I ain't even seen the mommy or daddy yet. But I see big paws on the dog, and I'm like, boy, just wait till he get big. Or a kid. Like, man, how old are you? Like, those.
That's funny.
That's
the way to compare it.
But, like, that's what it is with Cam. And that's whoever that offensive coordinator was that saw that about him is probably saying, you better watch it, because eventually it's probably going to start connecting.
I think there have to be ways to allow Cam to get late enough in the play to do what he does. Meaning, there can't just be, hey, get the ball out more quickly to avoid the rush. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes the best thing that Cam Ward does is what happens at the end of the play versus the beginning of the play. It's the off-script stuff that makes Cam Ward Cam Ward. So what does that look like on Sunday? I think it means giving Oli Udoh help if he's the right tackle. If J.C. Latham can't go, or even if J.C. Latham is just not 100%. You're going to need chips. You're going to need help on the right side. I think it's rolling Cam out and getting him on the move. I know they did that in the red zone on the play that has kind of gone viral in social media in the red zone where he had Van Jefferson wide open for a touchdown and just missed him. I know Kurt Benkert said he may have been looking the other way to try to throw it back to Gunnar Helm, and it was covered. Whatever that looks like, moving Cam around matters in this game. And again, you understand what you have in that offensive line. You understand that Dan Moore is far from a finished product. You understand that Peter Skronsky looks like a dude at left guard, and that Kevin Zeitler, guy that didn't play preseason, needs a little bit of time. Lloyd Cushenberry looked like a guy that came off of a major injury, did not grade well. And your right tackle got hurt halfway through the game, and the backup gave up a couple of sacks, or gave up one sack, specifically according to PFF. I'm interested to see what the counterpunch is from Brian Callahan and the Titans offensive coaching staff.
No doubt. The biggest issue that you have in this 2025 season so far, time. Nobody want to wait and see what this is going to look like.
No,
and I get it.
No.
That's the biggest. I would hope there's an adjustment to be made to where there's a better version of them from last week to this week. But the biggest thing that you have in your way, this defense is just as vicious as the one last week was, without the praise or high, as we heard Coach Mack say earlier, without the maturity of what Denver has.
The key difference is they're not as good in the secondary.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's that part too.
I do feel like this is a game for Calvin Ridley to bounce back. When we spoke to him yesterday in the locker room, not super happy about the way he performed. I don't blame him. Very short answers, very quick to just say, I've moved on. I want to move on. It was a bad game. We're on to L.A. On one side, you have Ahkello Witherspoon, who's been around for a long time, drafted in 2017. Emmanuel Forbes, who's just stepped back into a starting role. He struggled. 2023 first-round pick of the Rams. And, in the nickel, you have Quentin Lake, who graded as the 73rd safety out of 76 guys on Sunday against the Houston Texans. There are vulnerabilities in this defense that Denver did not have. Yeah. Now, granted, you got to have time to throw it to those guys in order to expose those vulnerabilities, but I think Calvin Ridley has a big bounce-back game on Sunday. I have a good feeling about this game Sunday. I don't know what it is. Sometimes you just get a feeling. And I think that this team is going to perform well on offense on Sunday. We'll see if it's enough. I'm not going to guarantee anything. I'm not going to guarantee a win, but maybe it's just my undying optimism that I just have as a human. But I don't know. I feel good about this game. I don't know what it is. Coming up, hour number 4, we'll preview Thursday Night Football. I think it's going to be terrific. Packers, Commanders, who you got? TJ Shockley going to join us at 9:20, plus Titans and Rams tickets. We got a pair of them next.
It's Ramon Foster for Princess Hot Chicken, man. By the way, if you hadn't been by recently, go by. I was actually at the Nolensville Pike spot last week. Man, the wife went by, man. Awesome, amazing place to be at. TVs there, the air conditioning is cool, and the food was amazing. But y'all know that already, too, man. What you probably don't know is this. Princess Hot Chicken, they offer catering. Cool story, man. I was at football practice the other day, and one of the young boys asked me, he's like, Coach, we hear you do Princess Hot Chicken on the radio. When are we going to get some? I say, you win this week, we going to get Princess Hot Chicken, okay? So I'm going to tell you this, man. For an entire football team, from 15 people up to 1,000, they do cater, man. They offer many options for you, too. They can cover your high-end event or a tailgate or, again, like I said, a football team. They also have many sides for you, too. Mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, so many other things. And you don't have to get the hot side of it. There's also plain. I like the light, mild version of this. But y'all know Princess Hot Chicken has been here. It's the originator of Nashville Hot Chicken, man. Many locations around the city. Find you one. Or you can simply go to princesshotchicken.com. But whatever you do, you make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
You just heard me talk about it, so let me tell you again, I've got a new obsession here for football season. It's snack season beyond just football season. Yeah, it's Daisy French onion dip season. It's my guilty pleasure during football season. I love eating dips with chips, with wings, with veggies, and Daisy French onion dip is versatile. Daisy's come out with this delicious French onion dip and a ranch dip. They are a game changer, and they're available all around you. Just head to your local grocery store. As you're stocking up, there's football tonight. There's Friday Night Lights tomorrow. Maybe you're tailgating for the high school game. You're going out, you're in a high school parking lot, you're getting ready. Hey, Daisy French onion dip is perfect for that as well. As delicious as a homemade dip, and Daisy makes this stuff with real herbs and spices, plus other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. As you're stocking up for the weekend, make sure you grab some. That's Daisy French onion dip at a grocery store near you.
It is 9:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are back on the practice field this afternoon as preparations for the Los Angeles Rams continue for this Sunday's home opener against the Los Angeles Rams at Nissan Stadium. In the first injury report of the week yesterday, 4 players for the Titans did not practice. J.C. Latham, Quandre Diggs, Tavondre Sweat, and Khalil Mullings. 3 players were limited in L'Jarius Sneed, Kevin Winston Jr., and Arden Key. Quarterback Cam Ward talked after yesterday's practice about what he learned from his NFL debut last Sunday and what he could take into week 2.
I would say it's a lot of stuff I want back just from my position, but that's going to be with every game. I always want plays back. But I'll say the biggest thing that I learned from in that game is you always in it, no matter it's first quarter to fourth quarter, like you always got a chance to win a game. Offensively, we didn't, come through with that, recognizing the coverages, but also just trusting to throw blind sometimes.
In NFL news yesterday, San Francisco 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan told reporters that quarterback Brock Purdy could miss the next 2 to 5 weeks with a shoulder and turf toe variant injuries. That he is also a long shot to play this Sunday at New Orleans. Former Patriots and Jaguars quarterback Mac Jones is in line to start. Tonight, Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime in Green Bay as the Packers host the Washington Commanders. Both teams are 1-0 to start the season, and the Packers are the 3-point favorite tonight. Kickoff is set for 7:15 p.m. Central, and you can also hear Westwood One's coverage right here on 104.5 The Zone starting at 7 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you've got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will live on a Thursday morning, a Titans ticket Thursday morning here on the program. He's Ramon Foster. I'm Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. 615-737-1045. The phone number for you to jump in. Mind if we give some tickets away, Ramon? What are you laughing at?
Wait, no, I had hiccups right there.
Oh, I thought you were laughing.
No.
It is a Titans Ticket Thursday where each week before home games, we will be giving you a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Titans game. Be caller number 5 right now. 2 tickets, Titans-Rams. 615-737-1045. Sunday. Titans-Rams, the Coach Mack Bowl, as we'll call it.
Yes.
615-737-1045. There you go.
And they're off.
Like a herd of turtles.
Yeah, they are. Good times, man. Y'all want to get there this weekend. Weather's going to be beautiful as heck, man.
Be supposed to be a little bit hotter.
A little bit hot. I know. We're cranking up. And then we'll go right back down next week, too, man. But get in there.
I don't know if we're going to go back down next week.
You don't think so?
High 80s all next week is what my weather app tells me.
Don't do me like this,
We've
Will.
gotten through false fall. Now we're back.
I love false fall.
So fun.
It's so fun.
I fall for it every year. Fall for it every year.
You tell me not to fall for it every year, too. Ever since we've been around each other, it's like, Ramon, this isn't real. I'm like, yes, it is. Here I am with a light hoodie on, and now I got to go back to short sleeves again.
Commanders at Packers tonight. Thursday Night Football on Prime. Should be terrific. Commanders are a 3.5-point underdog in Lambeau Field tonight. A 7:15 p.m. kick. Who you got, Ramon?
Who I got in that one? I got Green Bay.
Okay.
I got Green Bay. Michael Parsons just good enough to be able to get to Jaden Daniels. And again, I don't think they rush Michael Parsons off Laramie Tunsil's side as much. I think he's going to be a weapon to be able to just float around and just occupy and create mismatches for everybody else but Laramie Tunsil.
Sure.
Who you got?
I think the Packers are that good. I think the Packers are the class of the NFC, to be honest with you. I got questions about the Eagles' ability to stop the run and replace a lot of their departed front seven. I've got questions about the Lions and their play calling without Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. I've got concerns on a number of NFC teams. I don't really have that many worries about who the Packers are. I feel like they are elite on defense. I feel like they have got a quarterback capable of winning a Super Bowl in Jordan Love. They can run the football. They've got young playmakers on the outside. if I'm picking one team to win the NFC right now, I think it's Green Bay. And I think Micah Parsons truly was the kind of missing piece. If that organization is making that aggressive of a move, they feel like they can win a Super Bowl right now. Because that was very un-Packers-like, trading for Micah Parsons. And I think he is the missing piece. I really do.
You know what's crazy, too? Well, what's fascinating about Green Bay getting to this point? How many years has it been? 2 years of starting for Jordan Love? Like, the time for him to get to this point to where he's a opening day starter took a long time. And I think people are going to look at Jordan Love and Green Bay's situation.
This is year 3?
This is year 3. Mm-hmm. I think everybody's going to look at this situation as like, oh, now look at what Green Bay did. No, Jordan sat for a while. This is 6 years before you're saying, Will, and others are saying that Green Bay Packers are in their Super Bowl window. There's a lead up to get to this point. There's a build up. There's growth. There's negativity that comes with it. I remember watching Jordan Love. What was it in Brazil? Was it last year?
It was.
He didn't look like what this version of him was. And now here they are as a squad with the right trades, with the right drafting a wide receiver in the first round.
What a concept. Matthew Golden out of Texas.
Helping out your quarterback. They're in that position right now because of the patience to get to this point and putting the right pieces around their guy they choose to build with. Yeah. I still don't know what Jordan Love is, but the confidence that I feel like Green Bay's surrounding him with is elite right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Packers held the Lions to 46 rushing yards in week 1, contacting Lions rushers behind the line of scrimmage on 72.7% of attempts. That's crazy. Lions rushers averaged negative 0.6 yards before contact per carry. I mean, the Packers' run defense, their front seven, the way they can control the line of scrimmage, I think is too much for Jane Daniels tonight. The guy I'm interested to continue watching, though, is Bill for Washington. You heard about this?
No.
Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, rookie, played on just 19 of the 65 snaps in week 1, but had 11 carries and targets in that limited playing time. Cliff Kingsbury and Dan Quinn have been open about the fact that he is their future at running back. Yeah. I think it's because his name is so long. He just wants people to call him Bill. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a name to remember. He did not catch his 1 target, but he still got 82 yards and a touchdown on 10 carries. Next Gen Stats had him 39 rushing yards over expected.
That's fascinating, man.
Fun player to watch. Yeah. So him against a Packers defense that is so good against the run, and just that entire option attack against a fantastic defense is going to be really fun to watch.
And you mentioned what Green Bay did to the Lions. Like, that is on paper one of the best offensive lines in the world.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And they did, and also minus Kenny Clark too, to Dallas. Like, that's another component of what they are as a team. Now, it almost makes it seem as if Green Bay fleeced the Cowboys by saying, "Oh yeah, you can get Kenny Clark," knowing that they have backups behind him that can fulfill that role just the same. I'll be locked into this game 100% to see these two young quarterbacks go at it. But I didn't get a real opportunity to see Micah Parsons cook last week too.
Didn't play that much.
I do want to see what he looks like against this. And also if Houston misses Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah. Chuck is in Clarksville. Up next. What's up, Chuck?
What up, Chuck?
Hey, guys. Will touched on something in the last segment that I really have been on for 3 or 4 years. Why don't the Titans have plays where their receivers chip? I mean, you can run if you can run rubs on linebackers and D-backs, why can't you run rubs on defensive ends and edge guys? I mean, you got to be able to set up something, because you can see right now your tackles can't handle the outside rush, hard outside rush. All you got to do is just throw them off for about a second, and it gives your quarterback so much more time. So I'm just saying chip is the way to go. I don't think they'll do it, but that's the way to go.
Thank you, Chuck. They're doing it. They have done it. It just hasn't worked.
The other part of it is, though, Chuck, is this. Chips are awesome. They're phenomenal. But there's one less player that you also have running a route or slowing his route down to where it somewhat limits the offense, too. They are doing it. It's a matter of how effective can you be. Sometimes I'll be honest with you. Tackles don't like chips sometimes. because it knocks the defender off of where they're blocking too. We had sometimes guys would tell them, hey, don't chip my guy. I know it's a chip on this play. 76 chip was a play. Like, please don't chip my guy because you're knocking him off and helping him more than hurting him. And the other part is, as I said a second ago, you lose guys that are running routes too, right? Chipping.
Yeah, guys aren't open.
No. Or the slow release is close to the line of scrimmage. That's what it also is. So.
Well, and the thing we said about Dan Moore when they signed him, we had this exact conversation to say, a $20 million a year tackle.
Yeah.
You're going to be one-on-one.
You have to be.
And especially when your other tackle is in year 2 in J.C. Latham and is still getting better, or is just a backup on Sunday, because I don't know if J.C. Latham's playing in this game. If Oli Udoh is your right tackle, that's the guy you're chipping to help. Not Dan Moore. Dan Moore is going to have to perform one-on-one and figure it out. That's why they signed him. That's what they believe he can do. You just got to go do it. We'll see. We will see what wrinkles they have for the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. Coming up, what wrinkles do the Georgia Bulldogs have for Tennessee? What has Georgia held back that they can show against the Vols at Neyland Stadium on Saturday? We'll talk with former Georgia quarterback DJ Shockley coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Brian's Motorsport, man. Don't be surprised if you're going I-40 East and you see Brian's Motorsports on the road to Brian himself, man. Big Vols fan, just like most of us at this station, man. But I'm here to tell you this. The business that he runs, the dreams that he give are amazing. If you want to go out there, their address is 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville. I like to call it humble Hendersonville from time to time. But it's this, man. Dream, design, build. If you can dream of anything, he and his team can build it for you, man. If you're ready to elevate your vehicle, Brian Motorsports, they specialize in transforming rides with statement-making custom wheels, immersive audio experiences, and head-turning styles through custom tints and wraps, man. Whether you're seeking something subtle, it could be real chill or a complete custom build. They can deliver cutting-edge style and performance for all vehicles, including the most exclusive and exotic. They offer tire and wheel packages, lift kits, lighting kits, winches, interior and audio customization, graphics, and a combination of everything that's listed. Listen, you can get a pair of subs in the back of your vehicle. You can get window tints. You can raise it up 30 inches if you want to. They will make it happen. You dream it, they design it, and build it for you. Again, the address is 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville, or you can just simply go to their social media accounts, man, and it's Brian's Motorsports, all right? And make sure you tell them when you show up that, hey, Ramon sent me here, man. Get you something done to your vehicles ASAP.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee as we continue in hour 4 on this Thursday morning. With Vol Network analyst and Vol for Life, Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling, joined this morning by former Georgia quarterback DJ Shockley. Fox 5 Atlanta Dog sideline analyst, the perfect person to preview a big one in Neyland Stadium on Saturday afternoon. DJ, what's going on? Good morning.
Well, man, what up, fellas? Appreciate y'all having me on. And, yeah, man, I'm excited about it, too, man. First SEC game of the season. Dogs got to come on the road to Neyland and hear Rocky Top 47,000 times. So we excited about that.
So you saying we'll be scoring? Is that what you're saying? That's the only time we...
No.
Okay.
No, y'all got a quota. Y'all play that. We know that. I remember a long time ago when I played, Coach Rick said, hey, if y'all play good, y'all ain't got to worry about head Rocky Top. Just keep playing good. We got there. We played great. We was scoring. They wasn't scoring. They still played Rocky Top. So now I know it's a quote.
That's exactly
This
right.
is like what everybody said with the policeman at the first of the month, huh? Everybody getting pulled over. Is that what it is, DJ?
Got to meet them numbers, baby.
DJ Shockley, our guest this morning on Ramona Will. DJ, what matchup interests you the most in the way Georgia matches up with Tennessee?
That's a good question because I think you look across the board, there are a lot of interesting matchups that you could point to, but I think it's the Tennessee offense versus the Georgia defense. And I say that because Georgia's defense is a little young. They got a lot of guys who stepping into new roles. And the first 2 weeks, they haven't really been kind of pressed when it comes to being, thought about, okay, they've done a lot of different things versus these other teams, but they haven't been able to, really get going. So I think they haven't been challenged a lot in those first 2 ball games. And I know you're going to get challenged with this Tennessee offense. So it should be fun. We know what Josh Heupel's offense is about. We know they can want to spread you out. They want to make you a lot of plays. They want to run the ball. They want to get into the playmakers. They want to, put a lot of stress on your defense. And I think the first 2 ball games, Georgia's defense hasn't been stressed at all. They've been kind of real vanilla. They've been able to sit back. They haven't really had to bring a ton of pressure. They haven't been able to be stressed when it comes to a offense that can throw it around the yard. So I'm interested to see how this defense responds when it plays against an offense that can put a lot of pressure on you.
Georgia sideline analyst and former Dog, DJ Shockley, our guest. And DJ, that's always the interesting thing about Georgia is they'll have a week like last week against Austin Peay where you feel like, oh, Georgia, they're down a little bit. They're not in a good place. And then they'll just flip the switch and just turn it on when they need to in a big game. What do you think Georgia has held back that we could see on Saturday? Is it a wrinkle on offense? Is it pressure on defense? Like, what is the way, in your opinion, that Kirby Smart could flip that switch for his football team in Neyland Stadium?
Well, it sounds like you're sending this right to Josh Heupel, trying to make sure they get the plan.
That was the goal.
But, you know what? I think on both sides there's a lot to be desired because I think on offense and defense for Georgia, they haven't really done a lot. And a lot of people have stressed, Georgia's passing game hasn't been there. Gunnar Stockton hasn't shown the ability to be able to push the football down the field. There's always wrinkles. And I think when you play a team like Tennessee and you play them early in the year, it's crazy. We usually used to seeing them later on, down the line. And here we are in the 3rd week of the season. There's still a lot of things that are in the chamber for both teams, I believe. And I think, of course, when you come into a big game like this, you have to have some wrinkles. You got to have some they haven't seen. You got to have some formation. You got to have some different looks on defense that Tennessee hasn't seen on film yet. And I think both teams will do that. But I think for Georgia, it has to be some of the things they do in the pass game that Tennessee hasn't seen yet. And I think Gunnar has done a really good job of taking care of the football for one. But I think this is probably the best receiver core that Kirby's had in a very long time. And, yeah, they've, wanted to work on things in the first 2 ball games, but they haven't shown concept-wise some of the things that can give a defense some fits. And I think you have to do that, especially going on the road. You got to give, your quarterback some really good opportunities in this ball game. So I'll be interested to see what those wrinkles are, but I guarantee you they will have some, and I'm sure there will be some wrinkles for Tennessee as well that, Georgia hasn't prepared for or hasn't seen.
Joined by DJ Shockley, former Georgia quarterback, also sideline analyst for them, and many, many, many other jobs and endeavors, man, that you're doing around the Atlanta area. DJ, whenever you look at this quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, man, What do you see him being? We've seen some of Joey Aguilar's ability to throw down the field and connect. What component of Gunner's game do you expect to take another step? Because there's not much holding back in the SEC play moving forward. So where do you see him going? Is it more legs? Is it more arms? How do you expect this challenge for him to go?
That's a good question, man, because I think it just depends on the situations of the game. And I think because Gunner has the unique ability to use his legs, that's something Georgia has to, I kind of lean on coming to this ball game. And like you mentioned, when you get into SEC play, you can't hold back anything. You got to go ahead and shoot your gun because, you can't get behind in this league and try to fight your way back to it. You gotta, especially when you're starting so early in the season here in the third week. So I think Gunner's legs is going to be a huge part of this ball game. The one thing that he's done really well in the first two ball games is be able to create when things break down. And that's something that we haven't had the last couple of years with Carson was you got a guy that, okay, you get pressure on him and, when you can make one guy miss and he can go pick up 7-8 yards when it could have been a 4, 5, 6 yard loss. And I think that's what's been kind of unique and fun to watch is his ability to make plays with his leg. They've also had some, quarterback runs in the game. That's, been really fun to watch. He ran an option in the first game of the season that was pretty unique that, we haven't seen. And I think they will have more wrinkles in. But I think in order for Georgia to have success in this game, his legs have to be a big part of it, but you got to hit some shots down the field. You have to be able to push this Tennessee defense back some because if not, they're going to have 8, 9 in the box and load up on the run game, and then they're going to say, hey, can you beat us throwing the football? And so I think you have to make some plays down the field. As good as Gunner is with his legs, I think he has to be even better with his arm to win this ball game on the road in the SEC because it's going to be tough. We know this defense is going to get after you. I know they got like 8 sacks already in the first 2 ball games, so they're going to get after the quarterback, but you have to make the throws when they're there. You got to win those 50-50 shots because if not, then Tennessee's going to load up on you, and it's going to be a really tough day to run a football with that many in the box.
Man, if that's the case, then another part of his game that he has is weapons, man, on the outside. Kobe Young, Zachariah Branch, London Humphreys, and also Noah Thomas, too. What can you tell us about those guys, man, specifically Zachariah Branch, man, the USC transfer, he and his brother?
Yeah, Ramon, it's one of those things this offseason. Kirby made an emphasis that they need to be more explosive on the outside. And he didn't just want one style of receiver. He wanted guys that are smaller, quicker, like a Zachariah Branch. Or he went out last year and got Kobe Young from Miami. Got Noah Thomas this year from Texas A&M. Even got a young freshman in Taylor, who's pretty good. London Humphreys has the speed to take the top off the defense. But Zachariah Branch has been fun to watch this offseason as well as the first 2 ball games. He's that kind of like jittery bug guy that you just get him the ball in space. They threw a little swing route to him, last week, and he goes, 50 yards for a touchdown. And they do little small stuff with him just to get the ball in space. He's known for like punt returns. He's known for being able to make guys miss. And that's kind of been what they've done is just get the dude in space, allow him to be who he is. And he picks up big time yards for you. Then you talk about Noah Thomas and Kobe Young, 2 guys that are 6'5", real long, rangy, but aggressive after the football. Kobe Young's had a good start to the first 2 ball games. And the biggest thing that you've seen from him over the first 2 ball games is once he catches the football, he ain't trying to go down. He want to make dudes miss. He want to punish you. He jumping over dudes. Like he wants to be that kind of guy with the ball in his hands. And I think that's what Kirby has been really harping on with his receivers and guys on the perimeter is don't just catch the football and go down. We want to make plays after it. And I think that's what's going to help Gunner is, we don't have to throw it, 40 times a game. You don't have to throw it, 25, 30 yards down the field. Just give those guys a chance and see what happens. And that's what they've done over the first couple of weeks. So, like I mentioned, this is a receiving core that they're excited about. And they're hoping, they take that next step and, hopefully it starts on Saturday for them.
GJ Shockley, our guest, Georgia sideline analyst, Fox 5, Atlanta, and former Georgia quarterback. DJ, it's so interesting how so many other teams and their lack of depth and in the NIL transfer portal era make more mistakes and beat themselves. Like we watched an Alabama team come to Knoxville 3 years ago when Tennessee broke that streak and they muffed a punt. They had holding penalties. They had false starts. They beat themselves. And Tennessee also with 5 touchdowns from Jalen Hyatt. It kind of helped them in that process as well. Why don't Kirby Smart teams beat themselves? Because even at the end of the Nick Saban era, Alabama making mental mistakes. It didn't look like the same program. For you, DJ, what is the secret sauce? How does Kirby Smart keep this team from making mistakes like that in hostile environments like Neyland Stadium?
Yeah, man, I think that's one of the top things that he harps on every single week. And he always talks about it's in the details. And one thing I know about Kirby, being around him as long as I have, is he's not going to put you on the field if you're going to make those type of mistakes. Last week, Nate Frazier has a nice run, breaks a couple tackles, and he fumbles. He doesn't see the field for the next 3 series. So if you're a guy who wants to play on Kirby's team, you're not going to do the things that's going to hurt your ball club, whether it's mental mistakes, whether it's, the small procedural stuff. That kind of stuff drives him absolutely crazy. And he speaks about it every single day. He speaks about it before they go out. I had a chance to sit down with him earlier this week, and the last thing I asked him was, how do you go in Neyland and get a win? And he talks about, not turning the football over, not doing the things you just mentioned. So that tells you the details of the game. He harps on it. He just drives it in their brain. And when they play, I think that's one of the things that's at the forefront of it. And obviously, I think the other part of it is a Kirby Smart coach team usually is always very disciplined. Yeah. And that's something he prides himself on as well, is he wants to put smart guys out there, but he also wants guys who's going to do the right things in those moments. And I think each guy understands that. And, we've seen what Kirby has done with this program over the past few years. And I think the guys understand that when you come to Georgia, if you want to play, you got to abide by those rules. If not, you're going to be standing on the sideline next to him. So guys really hone in on that. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing is they're disciplined for one, but they're smart, and they make sure that if they want to have any kind of play time, they do what's right.
DJ, early, this run game looks better than last year, where Georgia was uncharacteristically 15th in the SEC in rushing yards per game. How confident do you think this staff is that their success running the ball against lesser opponents carries over to Saturday against Tennessee?
Yeah, it's a good point, because that's something that Kirby emphasized this offseason. They actually did some things this summer to try to change how they run the football. I mean, it went back to how they even worked out. Some of the things they changed to get stronger, to get bigger, to get faster, to emphasize. He knows in this league, as Ramon knows, if you can't run the rock, you might as well forget about it. Yeah. And that's kind of what he kind of went back to, is we want to be a physical team. Yeah, he's changed with the times. He's got a more open offense. But at the end of the day, he knows in this league, if it's, 2nd and 4, 3rd and 2, you got to be able to run the football to move the chains. And I think that's something that's been at the top of the forefront from Mike Bubble, the head coach. I mean, the offensive coordinator. They brought in a couple analysts from the NFL to, you're not going to recreate the wheel. The run game is pretty much the same, but it's all about the mentality. And I think they've kind of changed how they think about going about the run game. And like I mentioned, Gunner's a big part of that as well. When you have to account for the quarterback, that's a different factor for a defense, and that helps your run game sometimes. So I think they have emphasized we have to run the football, and that's something that Kirby and his staff, they haven't been bad at over the years. They've always been known as a downhill, they want to be physical, put your hand in the dirt, and you got to stop us kind of run game if you haven't. So last year, I believe, was a little anomaly, and, he made sure that this team, this offense on both sides of the ball, we're going to run the football and going to stop the run.
We're talking about DJ Shockley this morning. Shock, man, it feels weird. Week 3 is usually Florida and Tennessee this week.
Very weird.
It's very weird. And I'm not sure if it's anxiety on y'all part. It's always on ours, because y'all beat us 8 straight years, okay? I just want to throw that out there. I'm a realist about the situation.
Put it out there.
I respect it, but I don't hear much talking. Like, there's a bunch of, bad juju, I'm not going to say much because I don't want to mess it up. Why, from your perspective, aren't we seeing or hearing this so far? I ain't seen y'all Barstool page go bananas. I'm not getting a whole lot of it. What is it?
What I think what it is because it's week 3. And okay. I think the first 2 ball games, you might have been really vanilla on both sides, and you really don't know. And I'll be honest, I really don't know how this team is going to respond. You're going into a hostile environment, first time on the road. You got a lot of guys who haven't even been to Neyland yet, don't know what to expect, and you're unsure. And I'm interested to see how both sides are going to respond when, Tennessee goes up by 10, and you got to respond. You got to throw the football over the yard. I don't know if this offense can do it. I don't know if, they hit a big play, your defense has to, come back on the field and, how those dudes are going to respond. So I think that's the biggest thing is there is so much unknown for this Georgia, kind of dog nation of, okay, what kind of team do we have? You think about it late in the year, you know what you're about. You know who you can depend on. You know the guys, what they've done in those, tough situations, and you know how they're going to respond. I don't think a lot of people know where this Georgia team is, to be honest. And you haven't been challenged in those first 2 ball games. You know you're going to get challenged in this ball game. So it's like, I can't say what we going to do because I don't know. So it's going to be fun to watch this team really get tested on Saturday. And I think after this game, I think the Georgia fan base will know a lot about what this team is all about, and then maybe you could talk. But I just think it's what you said, man. It's week 3. You don't even know what they're about. And we got to see before we even, open our mouth about, hey, what we going to do.
No doubt. The other part that you mentioned earlier, I kind of want to go back to it is how is Kirby able to get the fear factor? In today's world of I don't like you, I'll go hop in the portal. Hey, you're not paying me enough, I want more money. We had a player leave in the middle of the spring right before the spring game. How is the Kirby fear factor? How is the Kirby fear factor still a thing?
Was that a quarterback? I can't remember.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Man, I forget. My memory, man, sometimes. I'm always looking forward. Baby.
Yeah, man, you know what? I think...
you had one too. My bad. Oh, did y'all give him the gold boot? Never mind. I don't remember if it was a quarterback. Never mind.
The crazy thing about it, man, I think is Kirby says from day one, he tells the kids from Jump Street, if you're not going to do what's right, you can leave. And I think he's earned the right because of what they've done the past few years. And then the ultimate one, as you know, Ramona, is you look up late April and you're watching NFL draft and you see all these dudes that are getting drafted from Georgia. Mm-hmm. He can use that key as well. And he's got a track record saying, look, this is what we do here. And if you can't abide by or you can't play here or you can't play tough, you can't be physical, then guess what? Maybe this ain't the place for you. Yeah. And I remember Kirby saying at the SEC media days, we only want guys who have fire, passion, energy, which is kind of the thing they're kind of thriving on this year. And he said it point blank, if you don't have that, I don't want you. Mm. And he can say that because he's shown that, we got guys who are willing to go do it. And once you get in this program, you watch how they practice, you watch how they go about their business. It is ran like a professional team. And I think guys understand if you do what's asked of you, if you do what Kirby has taught you and his staff, then it can take you where you want to go. But if it's too hard for you or if you're asking for more money, that's the one thing that'll get you going too. And he stresses that. And I think that's kind of the fear factor that goes in is, hey, you want to be great or you're not. And he'll say it point blank. And if guys can't handle it, he said, all right, maybe this ain't the place for you because I want guys who are willing to work hard and give the 100% than the guys who want to do something else and looking for other things. And ultimately, down the line, that's going to hurt you. So I think he's point blank and honest about where his program is with players. And I think, you only recruit those kind of guys. And ultimately it comes down to, you want to go to the next level? Well, guess what? Look at all the guys that we put in the NFL already because they've gone with this plan. They've gone with what we have put in front of them. And ultimately, I think that's the true fear factor is showing them the proof is in the pudding.
Shock, man, you talking about giving more money. Y'all been giving more money since the mid-2000s.
There we go.
All right,
I know what you mean. I'll buy the book, bro. What you talking about?
I mean, all you got to do is just watch a Philadelphia Eagles game, and that's the film of how to make it to the NFL.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
true,
This is all
too.
Georgia
Yeah,
defense.
watch it, Eagles game.
DJ Shockley has been our guest, dog silent analyst. Great insight and great perspective. DJ, always a pleasure to have you on, man. Thanks so much for the time.
All right, fellas, appreciate it. And I would really appreciate y'all not playing Rocket Top before the game.
Shock, I'm gonna try to find you before the game, man, and give you a message to Pastor Fernando Velasco, okay?
Oh, no, yeah, I definitely let him know. I'll see you Saturday, bro.
No doubt.
All right, there's DJ Shockley with us here this morning. Great stuff talking Tennessee, Georgia. I'm fascinated by that, the secret sauce of how you don't beat yourself as a football program over and over and over. I want to get back into that tomorrow morning to lead off the show because, Ramon, there's a lot of vibes around this game that feel like 2022 Alabama. You're within a touchdown of the spread. You feel like your offense and your quarterback is explosive enough.
Home.
You feel like it's time. You feel like you're due. The difference is that Alabama team beat themselves. I don't know if Georgia is going to help you win. You got to just go beat Georgia. We'll see. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they're still 18 to 22-year-olds, 18 to 24-year-olds. It's post-COVID. And anything can happen. But I want to get back into that tomorrow because I'm fascinated by how they do it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting, man. It's a better matchup than I thought we would have had, considering what the spring was.
Coming into the season, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. 615-737-1045. Final call for phone calls as we wrap up the show next.
Man, I just saw 2 houses for sale. Same neighborhood, almost identical, man. But one had an Orchard sign and it sold for way more. So I asked my friends at Orchard, why? The first house used a traditional agent, and after weeks of price drops and frustration, they finally just settled for less than what they hoped, all right? The second homeowner chose Orchard and got more. Their local Orchard agent didn't just list the home, they marketed it. They knew exactly which upgrades would attract serious buyers and brought in a pro to handle everything. And even more with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program. The homeowners moved into the new home before the old one even hit the market. They skipped all the hassles and showings. Never settle for less when selling your home. Get more with Orchard, the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to buy your home, even before your old home sells. Start with a free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com. Again, go to the website at Orchard.com.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. It's so funny learning the places that I go as a Gen Z Nashvilleian that Ramon's just never heard of. We're talking about a local establishment in the break.
Yeah, you have to tell me about this offline. I got to add it to my Yelp,
I'm not going to gatekeep it. Bringles in the Nations.
Bro.
Elite spot.
Yeah.
That my fiance and I were frequenting last week to watch our JMU Dukes, who have got to bounce back this week. Tough loss over the weekend at Louisville. Your brother was probably happy about that win.
Of course he was. Big Nardo was super
The two
excited.
quarterback system that Bob Chesney is running with the Dukes, he's got to decide between Sluka or Barnett. So if you came here expecting James Madison University quarterback discussion this morning, you're lying, or you're just my fiance. But Bob Chesney's got to pick one. The two quarterback system was not working last Friday night. See, I'm also the kind of sicko that I loved. I was like breaking down, like, all right, so this is what I would do here, Peyton. They've got to run the it was nice to have another team to break down and have a rooting interest.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Man, listen, the reason we were laughing coming back to on top of the JMU stuff is this. You talking about, well, it's in the Nations. I was like, I don't care where it's at, Will. You need to keep
I wasn't saying that as a bad thing. I love the Nations.
I know. No, I'm just saying.
The Nations is a great little community.
You mentioned it like I won't ride all around the city to find a good barbecue spot. Yeah, absolutely, man. I ain't hot at you. I'm just side-eyeing you right now, man. Don't be gatekeeping from me, Will.
I would never do such a thing.
That's why you the homie.
Would never do such a thing. Yep.
Man, yeah, you're right. I looked it up, and boy, yeah.
Good spot.
Give us some of that.
I saw Don Davenport on the TV doing Detective Dawn stuff there last week.
Detective Dawn. It was so fun with her the other morning. She came in, man.
It was good.
Yeah, Babsy. I wonder, it's that time of the year. Thursday, Friday, she might be in the win.
She's doing,
who did she have?
She has Arkansas State hosting Iowa State.
Yeah.
So there's been some weird home and homes recently in college football. Like, why is Oklahoma going to Temple?
That makes zero
sense. Like Alabama going to USF.
Yeah.
A couple of years back.
That was also another weird one, man.
Better than a neutral site game, but still.
I also wanted to tell Dawn, too. Who is Dawn? I also wanted to tell Babs, also, she may be better off driving that one.
Oh, no, she definitely would be.
Yeah,
definitely would be.
But I heard them say also on 3HL, shout out to 3HL, that she doesn't drive. She's a flyer. And I was just like, but it'd be so much more simple for her to drive instead of fly. And I guess the way she drives is better for her to fly. Never mind. Never mind. I talked myself right off of that one.
You really talked yourself into a mental pretzel.
I did, yeah, and I realized it's better for Babsy to fly instead of driving. Yeah, she's not the driving type. I get it.
Fair enough. All right.
Good show, man.
Very fun show. Hit the podcast feed if you missed any of it. DJ Shockley was excellent. Coach Mack, excellent as always. Tomorrow, Ron Slay will join us an hour early at 8:20.
Rehab Ron.
Brent Hubbs will be here. Talk more about Tennessee and Georgia and preview Titans and Rams. I don't know. I said it earlier. I feel good going into this matchup if the Rams' offensive line is as banged up as they appear to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one component, especially the age side of it, too, for Stafford. His ability to run and be evading defenders, it really goes down if his two guards aren't working. I think the world of Dotson, man, who left Pittsburgh and redefined his career as a player, and Avila, too, as a draft pick that he was, I think, a second-rounder. Yep. They've invested in the interior, and I think it's for
on
the
both
health.
Sides.
Yeah, and it's for the health of Matthew Stafford offensively.
Right.
Him running around is not good for their offense at all.
That's true.
Or his back.
No doubt.
I think my back is broken.
The 33rd team put out a couple of hours ago, teams that generated pressure on more than 50% of their blitzes in week one. Rams generated pressure 85% of the time they blitzed. They were 5 of 6 getting pressure on blitzes. They're going to bring the heat at Cam. Because that's what Cam struggled with against the Broncos.
It was
sacked, I believe, 3 times and did not fare well against blitz.
Yeah, they're going to have to shirt it up, especially also. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do off of if J.C. Latham isn't able to go. Jared Verse, man, is good. And I say that as a Florida State before I go to Byron Young. Byron Young's really carved himself into a really good NFL player.
He's got an incredible story.
It's amazing. And you root for those stories, man, for people like him.
From Georgia Military College to the league.
Homeless, working at Dollar General.
Yep.
Shout out to Dollar General, they're local too. But I also say I think it's a contract year for him too.
Is it already?
I think so. Byron Young going into
He was
year
on the
4.
22 team.
Was he?
I think this is year 3 for Byron.
Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, this is the one that sets up that year.
Let's see. Byron Young.
Yeah, which one are you getting?
It's year 3. Yeah, well, exactly. Exactly. Now, year 3, but he is 27 because he was an old college player.
He sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only born a year after me.
Jalen McCullough is also another Vol that's
That's right.
turning himself into a better,
Also
better
another
pro.
role that played about 7 years at Tennessee.
Crazy, man. Good matchup, though, this weekend. Both got issues. Rams and the Titans.
Gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Going to be fun to watch, fun to preview with you tomorrow morning. We will get you ready for your Friday. Coming up tomorrow, 6 a.m. Join us.
Hey, you must remember at all times, good people, your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.